All right, everybody. Monday night means another flagship Flipside show. We got a lot of fun tonight. We're going to have people be jumping in and out all night. We got a big guest, Big Clutches in the house. Also, we've got What If, Marvel Zombies, Titans, the CBCS stuff, market report, comic book news, pickups, all the fun stuff. Let's get to it.
Tales from the Flipside. Flip side.
All right. Every time I get in, like, there's certain intros that just I really love. That being one of them. Even though I made it, it's kind of hard to love something that you made so much. Like that kind of feels weird, but always gets my head bopping on that song. And same with Mighty Mel V's. I don't know what it is. Mighty Mel V's intro is dope too, and Simple Man's outro is super dope. So
shout out to Mighty Mel V's intro was lame, we'd have problems, man.
Yeah, you're right. So shout out to everybody. Thanks for joining us, you guys. We've got 44 live at the beginning of the show. Much love to each and every one of you. We have a fun show tonight. We got people jumping in later on, but as you guys can see, a big guest in the house, Shawn Kirkham, Big Clutch. Thank you, brother, for joining us tonight.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Oh man, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I want to let everybody know to make sure that they go and give you a follow if they're not already on Instagram. One of the killer Instagram pages out there. We were just talking the other day. If you don't mind, this is something what we do. I usually bring up a guest Instagram and talk about a few of their crazy picks. Look at that, man. You were at the fight of the century, it sounds like. Game.
Yeah, we almost got in one, but thankfully we didn't get a punch in the mouth like that guy did. Holy smokes.
Yeah, man.
He was doing it was cool. Like I moved into Inglewood like 5 years ago in preparation of the stadium opening up, and so it was awesome to be able to go to see like the first game like with fans in the stadium. It was super cool.
Yeah, beautiful stadium.
Oh yeah.
I did wake up to a text this morning, the front page of Rams Wire, but somebody got it off Facebook. And it's, watch the fight. It shows the dude all bloody and backed up. My buddy circles it. My other buddy from high school standing right behind him. That I haven't seen in years, but unmistakable. I mean, we played football together. He's an offensive lineman, so like an unmistakable dude. So shout out to Big Mac. I know you're not listening, but
yeah.
Kind of entertaining.
West Coast rivalries ain't no joke.
Well,
they got the Browns, Ravens.
They were all brawling each other. It was wild.
And Raiders coming in next weekend, so probably some more fun.
Well, listen, you guys, everybody who's watching live, go give Big Clutch a follow if you're not already. It's Instagram.com/Big Clutch. Doing big things, been doing big things for a long time, but getting into the whatnot stuff, the third market stuff, and of course he's always rocking the Skybound. What's up with the Comics Vault Live stuff that you're doing? It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's been cool, man. We started doing this at the beginning of 2020, and thankfully the pandemic happened and it made sense for us to do it instead of going to shows. But we started just going into our vault. I've been a CGC guy for many years, and we've always, if we have extra comps or whatever, like we'll get them graded and whatnot. And so we decided to kind of like let's jump into that more and open up the vault and find things and make them available to collectors who maybe didn't get a chance to get them if they were like convention exclusives or they're more like ratio variants and whatnot. And so now we've started making variants specifically just for the show. And so we'll do like black and white versions of Walking Dead Deluxe, or we'll do, we've actually done a couple variants for, you can see like the Me You Love in the Dark from Scotty Young with the James Heron cover. We did like a Radiant Black cover. We did, I think, one for a couple of books for Boom too, which is kind of cool, like to be able to do not just Skybound or Image books. So pretty fun.
Yeah, super cool. We're going to get into Whatnot too later on in the show, you guys. A lot of us have been jumping over there and getting our feet wet in there, and it's very interesting. So we'll definitely get into that. Had a lot of people reach out to us in the last week about Whatnot, asking questions and this and that. And there we go. Nico, what up, brother? How you doing?
Good to be here.
Yeah.
I came just to demoralize Carter with my pickups.
All right. Well, again, thank you everybody for joining us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Let us know how we're doing in the comments below after the show. If you're here live, the live chat is going to be rocking. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about tonight. Maybe a giveaway or two. You never know what's going to happen on this show. So we'll get it started. To talk. One of the things that I want to start on is the What If series. Has everybody seen the What If show at least the first episode yet?
Sadly, I have not, but
What? Come on.
Yeah.
The kids were not all at the house at the same time and just didn't make it happen yet.
It's good, man. It's really good. I've only seen a couple people out of 20, 25 people that I've asked or seen talk about it. I've only seen a couple people said that they didn't like it. I really enjoyed the animation. I think the animation is great. What was kind of weird for me is the fact that this Peggy Carter character seems like she's going to be the character that kind of goes through she's the character you follow. That's throughout the whole series. And at least that's what I get. And they're going to have her come back for next season. So, everybody was talking recently before the series came out about those two Captain Carter issues, Exiles 3, I think it is, and the 1 in 10 on the Exiles 3. Everybody was talking about those going crazy, but they were also at the same time talking about, is this like a one and done episode spec play because she's not going to do anything? And obviously that's not the truth. So what do you guys think about Peggy Carter spec going forward? Nico, I know that you talked about that Exiles book a couple times. I think I saw you found one in your stack of goodies to maybe do something with.
Yeah. Okay. So I think at least my understanding is that it's not going to be as if the animated series follows this particular character episode by episode, but instead season by season. And then the hope and the prayer, at least from early indications, is that her character will appear in live action, initially in the Doctor Strange film, and that will be the fabric that kind of tethers the thing together. I can't suggest that I was a big buyer on that stuff. I knew I'd pulled the 1 in 10 out of a dollar bin, and then I think I broke down and paid like $10-15 for the A cover like last week or something. But I think I have a stack of the variants. I just haven't found them yet. Don't really do too good organizationally, but I found one last night, and Brian was like, "You found it," and I was like, "He sounds almost more excited than me," and because I was thinking to myself like, "I found it."
You'll find it as soon as it's dead spec.
No question about it. When that book hits like the $40 unsellable period, I mean that may take 4 weeks, 4 months, 4 years, but boy, will I'll have all of them in one place.
Shawn, did you see it? Did you check it out?
Unfortunately, I didn't.
Is it over for me?
Oh, you saw it,
did. No, I didn't see it. So go ahead if you got something to say.
Yeah, Clutch. At least you saw it.
Absolutely. I'm a big nerd for that stuff. So I thought the animation looked awesome. I really dig that style. Yeah, I think it's cool, man. I love I don't know. What If has always been one of my favorite things. What Ifs and Elseworlds and Age of Apocalypse. Anytime you take like the stuff that we grew up with and you flip it on the side and just go weird with it, like eat that up.
Yeah, I'm with you. I always like those issues. I mean, the Watcher is my favorite Marvel character. It's probably my favorite all-time character, which is weird, I know. But I've always been into like what could happen. Like also even when we were kids, kind of like what were those books? The books that you could choose your own adventure. There we go.
Yeah.
Kind of like that type of stuff was always good to me. 123 live. Thank you for joining us, you guys. A lot of fun tonight. Stick around. Gonna be interesting. The thing that everybody, well, maybe not everybody, I know me more than anything is scrambling for is the zombies. I think Marvel Zombies have been one of the greatest things in comics created. I was surprised they didn't try to do more stuff with it earlier on. I remember even like when we started getting figures and stuff out of it, I felt like that took too long even, and those figures went crazy. And then they had the little bust statues and those went crazy. And then we just didn't really get much from them for a while. I mean, we got more comics, but we didn't get anything else outside of the comics. And now that they're going to be in this animated series, which is perfect. I think Marvel Zombies is perfect for animation. I think the zombie stuff is going to just go crazy. I think people that didn't know about it or just finding out about it, that stuff's just going to go through the roof. What do you think, Z?
I mean, I think it's one of those things that everybody kind of talks about. It's, it's in that realm of, just iconic stories, great art. It makes me think of the DC, the Ross thing. I'm blanking right now. Why am I? The Shazam and all that.
JSA? Deceased?
No, the older one, the Wade and Ross, like the biggest freaking.
Oh, Kingdom Come. Yeah,
it makes me think like that of like one of those properties that's just hanging out, like such an awesome story and awesome art, awesome just kind of thing that Marvel's been sitting on. You're right; they just haven't done much with it, and they could. And I'm excited that they're going to do something. Even if it's just an animated show. If it goes well, they could also just expand it. That's the joy of Disney Plus. They can just, this worked well. Let's do some more.
Yeah. Carter, what do you think, man?
I remember Marvel Zombies being hot, like right out of the gate. I remember like the first issue, like you couldn't even find it. And I remember it being at least, I think it was like a $20, $30 book. You know what I mean? And so, And now, like 15 years later, now it's kind of cycled back into being hot again, which is pretty cool.
I love this cover.
Yeah.
How often are you guys that are out there picking in stores and going to cons? How often are you guys seeing the zombies? At least the first initial like series or two back issue bins.
The first series of Marvel Zombies, never see. Like you might see Marvel Zombies 2, you might even see like maybe a third print here or there. But as far as that very first series, no, I don't.
No, I don't. Those. I don't ever see. I haven't seen them for years. Even before all this, I don't remember seeing much of it sitting in the bins.
This was the first series that I remember just grabbing 2 or 3 copies, so you don't like damage one reading it. So,
yeah, they've been gone from bins for a pretty long time. You know what I mean? I was happy. I don't know how even 8 or 9 years ago, trying to just finding anything from the first series in a bin. You know what I mean? Not like on a wall. Well, most of the copies I've had has been able to win like some cheap auctions and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not. It's one of those that's just got picked up and didn't really sit in them bins like most of the other stuff does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anytime that I would find it, it was just like, oh wow, okay. Let's get it. Got to get it. Can't pass it up.
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. I mean, the Sidem, is that? I hope I'm saying it right. Is it Sidem? Arthur Sidem?
Sure. I've often said Sweden, but I don't know if I'm right
Sweden.
Either. So, you think it's Sweden? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Arthur Sweden. I'll start saying that right from now on. That's one of the things that drives me crazy.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it is a tough one.
He'll just call himself the Zombie King, as he likes to refer to himself. So
Well, well, the funny thing about Arthur or Sweetum, as Drew says, this is back when he didn't have his crazy reputation, but I got a love-hate relationship with Arthur Sweetum. Absolutely in love with him when all this stuff started coming out, until I went and asked him for a sketch, and I got an 8x10 sketch of the Watcher, and when it came back to me 2.5 years later, it was this big. And man, just crushed me. I can't even look at. No, I'm just joking. I could look at these covers all day long. I look at these covers all day long.
Yeah, he's still got some pretty great work out there.
Yeah,
jerk or no jerk.
I was like, not to be a homer about the series too, but I think one of the big things that hooked me on that series early on was also the fact that Robert Kirkman wrote it. Yeah. And I think he carried over like a lot of his humor from like his early days that wasn't necessarily in Walking Dead, but like you got like really fun Invincible moments in there where just like Peter Parker stuff, like all the dialogue was really fresh and enjoyable.
Was this his? I can't remember. Was this his first jump into Marvel, or was the Marvel team up stuff the first jump? Chat, let us know. Because I know he did the Marvel team up stuff really early. He did that Invincible issue with him, and where Invincible, they brought Invincible over to the Marvel universe for that Spider-Man issue. Spider-Man team up with Spider-Man.
I mean, this stuff was in Marvel Zombies was in 2006.
So
right? So
yeah,
after that, most likely. I mean, I scroll through these covers and just it takes me back to that time period when comics was a great time in comics back then. Like probably my favorite time in comics back then.
Yeah, this was the time where I had gotten back into comics after after almost 10 years away. And yeah, I remember just devouring everything around this time.
Yeah.
Wow. Like some of these you can't even get in comic issues. Like they're on the hardcovers, right? If I remember correctly, because I bought, and they even did here we go, third print of the hardcover. Where's the first print of the hardcover?
And those are probably harder to get than the freaking floppies.
Yes. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I think that we're going to start seeing more trades and hardcovers now that this is my favorite one that never. You can find these in prints, but this was a hardcover one that never got put out in floppy, and this is one of the best ones. I thought. I absolutely love this homage. Terry Moore. I think this was the Terry Moore series, right? That this came from. Mary Jane series. Does that sound right? I might be off there.
Too deep a dive.
Yeah. But it gave me a reason to go through all the covers. This is one of my favorite ones too. I loved when they did the Army of Darkness crossover. So good to see Ash in this series. Like, what a great idea to bring Ash over into this world.
I've never seen that one.
Really?
No.
Yeah, man. Here we are. These are all the Army of Darkness crossover ones. Punch a Nazi issue. Great Jim Lee homage. This is probably my favorite one of the Army of Darkness covers series. Anyways, I'm just going through covers at this point, but really good stuff. What do you guys think about spec-wise on those issues? Is the issue to chase still the Ultimate Fantastic Four book?
Is it number one? Is it number 21 or number 22?
I think it's 21, but we'll double check.
Because number 21 is the one I kept buying, but now it seems that number 22 is making its way up. That's what it seems like to me.
And I take all late printings of the Marvel Zombies series out of bins because I've never taken the time to actually figure out which ones sell for money. But I may just change that and just start buying them all if they hit a certain price point, just because they're great.
Yeah. And especially, if they're in a bin, you're probably going to get a pretty good price. Like a, low buy-in, nothing wrong with that. But yeah, definitely with the later printings.
Yeah, maybe this is the first poll of the night for our chat. Let's ask. I mean, we got the best speculators in the game as our viewers, so let's ask them. What is the first Zombies appearance? See what they say. All right.
I'm looking at prices for number 22 right now, and they're averaging about $40. Number 21 is averaging it seems about 20 to 30.
Well, it appears 21 appears to be the cameo appearance is what they're saying, and CGC recognizes 22.
CGC does it again. I think there's does anybody remember the 4th issue? It's like 21, 22, 23, and then there's a 4th issue later in the FF run that's a zombies issue as well. I remember the number. I take it too. But again, I only have been taking those out of dollar bins because I'm tight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember that my memory might be a little off, but they initially introduced the zombies, the FF zombies. They were like Reed and Sue, right? And for 21 and 22, and then they kind of chilled for a while. I think they maybe did like a Namor type storyline, and then the zombies came back when they were ready for the initial rollout of the run. But man, I wonder who gets the credit for creating that idea, which is very interesting. Let's see.
My comic pop literally in their blurb says 21 as first appearance of Marvel Zombies and 22 second appearance of Marvel Zombies.
There we go.
I mean, they're pretty decent researchers. I don't know if they have a dog in the fight.
Yeah,
as they are just an online retailer.
Well, again, if you remember, for a while, people thought the zombie stuff, or especially this book, was kind of dead spec, and then all spec comes back around. And
yippers,
yeah.
This is where I say something inadvertently rude about the CGC label and how dumb the people in the market are that spend enormous amounts of money.
Hey, Bob,
it says it right here.
Yeah,
it'll never change. Like, you'll have a better chance of changing the label than you will of changing people's minds about the veracity of the label. Just know that.
Yeah, pretty true.
Yeah, Glenn Wood says it shows Mr. Fantastic looking in a mirror of an alternate Mr. Fantastic. Yep, I remember that. Good stuff. Brad Selden says first Fantastic Four zombies versus first Marvel zombies. Great point. Great point. But are we getting a little too kind of what do they call that?
Esoteric.
Yeah, whatever.
So does that make all Marvel? I mean, maybe the answer is already yes, and I just didn't know. But Ultimate Fantastic. So does that make?
Yeah, there you go. 30. That's the other one. Thank you.
Part of the Ultimate Universe. Is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess so. Does that count?
Here comes Miles.
Yeah, I was about to say they're already doing that, right? There we go. Look at that. Great cover.
Yeah, I take those too.
Hey, try the second print of that cover, dude. If you can find it.
Yeah, let me find it. That's a great.
Second print shits on that one.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's dope.
That's not second print.
Hold on.
That one is. It says variant, which is second print.
Yeah, that's exceptional, isn't it?
I love it.
Wow. This is bringing back awesome memories.
100%.
Good stuff. Let's see here. Here's this one too. What is this? Variant text list. There's a Virgin variant for this?
No, it's just a picture. Just showing the art without any of the text. That's all.
Okay. All right. Wow. That's good stuff. That one's
there's a 1 in 30 also, but it's it's a sketch of that.
Man, I like how this cover, it has the black in the middle behind them and the white on the sides. I think that's really good how they did that. And then I love just how Doom's there just chilling, like I one-upped you.
Yeah.
175 people hanging out tonight. Thank you so much, you guys. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Don't not stick around for Market Report. Market Report's going to be fun tonight. And of course, we've got pickups towards the end of the show. Maybe a giveaway or two, old school style. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Greg Land covers as well on those Ultimate Fantastic Four books, which is good stuff. Really cool stuff. Who's got a plane? Is that where's Drew? I hear the helicopter, and Drew's not here anymore. Anyways, we were speaking about CGC also, and one of the things that happened this last week, of course, was the CGC signing for the Todd Father, where he went and signed, what was it, 1,697 copies of Spawn. What was it? King Spawn? Is that what it is? I'm blanking on this. But look at this, you guys. This is if you guys didn't see this, if people haven't seen this yet, yeah, this is absolutely bonkers. And shout out to the CGC crew, Brittany, and shout out to Todd for sitting down and signing all 1,697 copies of this.
Wow.
But they did.
But what about poor Matt? Why does nobody ever remember Matt? They just remember Brittany.
Well, because Brittany actually is in front of the camera on a lot of these too. Yeah.
What about the ink, Brian? What's the deal with the ink? What do you do there?
What do you mean the ink?
So
he did some multicolored ink, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me more. Anybody know the ratios? Apparently he signed certain books with certain color ink, and they're now Chase books or the Chase books.
5 blues, 5 greens that were randomly inserted. And then I think he said he was going to do some remarks too.
Nice.
Wow.
Very cool.
He says, this is an older post. It was 3 weeks ago. He says 1 in 250 variant covers signed and individually numbered. That's a cool thing too. They put the, number 17 of 203 on there, or whatever. He says, but this is a different issue, right? Let me see here. Am I looking at the wrong issue? Nope. Same issue. Okay.
That's it. That's the one.
Yeah. And then, of course, here he is talking about it, showing some of the stuff. But one of the things that was crazy to me is I saw one that was up for sale that didn't have the signing, the signature on it. Are there copies of this that are going to go out that don't have the signature on it?
I mean, if it's a 1 in 250, I assume, right?
Well, there's going to be comps, and this is, a thing that we talk about a lot too, with stuff coming from the publisher side. But every artist get comps, people at Image and whoever get comps, so that stuff is out there, and those are going to be ones that they come from the printer directly to them to make sure everything's in working order after a print. And so there's going to be some float around for sure.
Will there be any copies in a Walmart pack? Too soon? Too soon?
Yeah.
That's only Marvel, guys.
Oh.
Well, that we know.
I got confused again, son of a bean.
Yeah. Well, here's the funny stuff. So I look up King Spawn on eBay, and come on, internet, chugging along like it's Nico's internet here. All right. I look up King Spawn.
Mine's sucking all the power out of Arizona.
I look up. This is how you know that eBay's search functions are crazy now. I look up King Spawn on eBay, and a fish shows
legitimately.
Look, we think you mean this, but in case you don't.
In case you're a fisherman.
Yeah. But here is for you guys. I'll be honest. I'm getting to the point where I would rather have an unsigned copy on some books than a signed copy.
Does it say it's unsigned, or is it just he took a pre-promo image?
No, this says signed. So
yeah. He just took an image from before.
Yeah. But this is the cool thing to me.
Who's that selling that? They've got how many copies? That's Golden Apple, I think.
Yeah. This is the coolest part of it to me. And this will segue into some more talk. But I think this might be the first time that they've done this. Correct me if I'm wrong, if this is not the first time they've done it. But they put in the certificate of authenticity in the backs of the bags and boards that literally say, what issue of the book it is, this and that you can send it in to CGC and they'll honor it. It says CGC Signature Series has witnessed and authenticated that Todd McFarlane has signed and numbered this King Spawn variant comic book. CGC will accept this King Spawn variant cover comic book as a certified signature series book if submitted within 30 days of receipt of this COA.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
And I lied. Okay, so I know that they've accepted signed books and gave them gold labels before, but I don't think they've ever used this certificate of authenticity. I heard a guy at a comic shop in Pittsburgh talking about this doesn't have a certificate of authenticity. He worked there, the poor bastard, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. But anyway, I think it's the first time they've done that. I think there are certain signed books, I can't remember which ones, where they were just like, oh, well, they were all signed, so, send it. We'll give you the gold label anyway.
Walking Dead 100. We had a Lucille retailer variant that we sent out to comic shops, and so I think every shop had ordered over X amount of copies. Robert had signed them all. We sent them to Diamond, and they sent them out. And then I think we had a 30-day window that CDC had said, "Hey, we'll let you do it." And I think after that, there was stragglers that came in later that got qualified labels or whatever. So,
well, speaking of that book,
good luck getting things to CGC in 30 days. It feels like. Yeah, through a presser. You got to get it through. Everything
Dude,
else.
I freaking love that. I still don't have it. Now's my time where I should go and buy all of the formerly uber expensive Walking Dead variants because the ADD market doesn't care about them this week or this month or whatever.
I've got this in a 9. There's a 9.8 on eBay for $1,000. I've had my shopping cart for too long, and that's just to me. It's not a bad price. It's not a little tiny bit about money. But I love this book.
To me, yeah, this is one of the greatest comics put out in the last 20 years. I think everybody geeked out when they saw this variant. And then when we found out how hard it was to get, and this book went crazy for the longest time, it's probably a great time to buy, like you said, Walking Dead books, especially these variants.
Yeah, dude, the Hero Initiative variants are theoretically, you got a shot at maybe getting one of those without mortgaging your home. Remember the Governor second print was the first different color second print that people went gaga over. They're dirt cheap right now. And I don't know if these books are dirt cheap or if the market has just gotten so expensive and they haven't escalated in price, so they appear cheaper to me. You know what I mean? I'd have to analyze that, but yeah, that's one of my all-time favorite variants.
And that's what I was saying on here also. I mean, we've got only another week until the next season actually starts. And then, if they're connecting the world beyond everything going on with that, it's there's a good chance it starts to really, really pick up again. So, and that means season 10, it's been on Netflix for, I don't know, a month or something like that, because that's about usually it seems to be about the lead in time. So some people are probably catching up, or the people who wait for Netflix, which is not me, are catching up, and people like me are rewatching. So,
yeah. Real quick, over 200 live viewers, you guys, 30 minutes in. I want to give a big shout out to Ronnie Strike. He's been dropping super chats, showing us support quite a bit lately, and we can't thank him enough. He says, "How did Whatnot treat you, Brian? All of you put up a sale schedule. Do most of you use a camera and gear or low tech and just your phones? I'm waiting to be approved." Ronnie, we are going to get into that in depth here in a little bit. So if you can stick around, if not, I'll hit you up and talk to you about this. But this is going to be a nice little segment that we're going to talk about here shortly, because we have a pretty big king of Whatnot in the house tonight. If you guys aren't, following Big Clutch and the stuff he's doing with Skybound right now, make sure you guys do. But we'll get into that. All right. The thing, talking, this brings up something we weren't ready to talk about, but Clutch brought up the Lucille variant, and we started talking about, of course, is it the time to buy? There are some really crazy Walking Dead variants that a lot of people don't know about, and Walking Dead fans have been searching for a long time. I remember, shout out to my buddy Kyle, host on Modern Comic Mayhem. Man, I purchased a run of Walking Dead from 1 to 150s or 120s, something like that. 120s, and it was all the variants. And I remember him saying that this is the variant, one of the variants that he was searching for, that he could not find, this Eric Larson variant. It's kind of a weird cover for Walking Dead, but very, very cool variant. Here are these, of course, the pink signature variants that they came out with. These are like the first like secret variants, if I remember correctly. Clutch, do you know like how this came about with these different color signature variants and stuff like that? Is there any cool, interesting story behind them?
Just Robert being tricky. I think that because that was Lorenzo De Felici, so who's the artist for Oblivion Song, and so I think it was like Robert wanted to kind of get a little extra buzz going around Oblivion Song at the time that book came out too. So what a better way to do that than make a little hidden little variant there. So and they're really cool. It's fun to see. Like I love these little ones that they don't tell us about, which are really cool. That you see in a shop, you're like, oh my god, there's a frog there or whatever. Like you just find something super random.
Yeah,
it drives me nuts as a collector. I'm like, fuck, now I gotta get like a bunch of these ones. But
this one is really. I think I talked about this on a show recently, and I forgot it was a 1 in 200. For the Otley variant for issue 100.
Yeah, it's actually not. I think it was supposed to be like roughly 500 copies that went to Comixology.
Wow.
So it wasn't a 1 in 200.
Okay.
It was 500 or so copies that were given out to Comixology, and they gave it to like their the retailer partners that they have.
Not bad. All right, we'll pass that along to the Comic Book Invest crew and get some changes made on, because like Walking Dead books, I know they're not as hot as they used to be. Man, Walking Dead fans are rabid. Of course, here's the Lucille variant. I mean, just good stuff. This one right here, they didn't do a very big picture of it, but the Ghost variant with Michonne on it is super hard to find, if I remember correctly. Yeah, gotta love the Foxy Brown.
Yeah, not hard to find. Just super cool. Swear.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, very cool stuff. Yeah, Solo Wookie says Walking Dead was a comic book. You're banned, bro. Put a ban on that dude. Wonderworld Comics says he just picked up an Oblivion Song Pink on Whatnot. Shout out to Dennis, another Whatnot king at this point. He's killing it over there. But yeah, make sure you guys, if you guys are just now seeing some of these variants, go do some research on the Walking Dead books, and it'll blow you away. And
hey, can I ask Big Clutch a question about the Walking Dead variants that I assume he'll know, but Lord knows I don't. How did some of those 100s? How was the distribution of the unsigned ones?
Oh, for the Lucille variant?
Yeah.
I think the comps,
that's all that is. Those are the comps. God,
yeah, for the most part.
Because that's what I want, and that is hard to freaking find.
Yeah,
those were like there were the foil ones, right? Then there's the unsigned ones and the signed ones.
The foil version was like our Black Friday variant that we did. It was actually one of our first kind of like crazy wild things we ever did on our e-commerce site, and that was a very busy Thanksgiving weekend because we dropped like some every single day of the weekend, and I had to like turn each one on manually on the website to make them go live and whatnot. So
yeah, so the foil would be the most common, the signed would be the second most common, and the unsigned would be the good luck.
Yeah, I think the unsigneds are definitely going to be the harder to track down.
All
Absolutely.
Right. There is Eric Paulson made a comment that is interesting. He says, honestly, can anyone say they like Eric Larson's artwork? I'm not trying to be a dick. I get it, but I'll tell you what, Eric Larson's Spider-Man stuff is amazing.
Amen.
People forget how awesome and how integral Eric Larson is to like Venom mythos, Spider-Man stuff. He made
Venom up the tongue.
Yeah, gave Venom that look, that super grimy, crazy look, and
Larson's a king.
Spidey stuff.
Before that, Venom was kind of cute. It was kind of adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his stuff to me has always been so like just vivid and energetic and bombastic, of all the Image founders. Like his was one of those, is like, man, this is just in your face. The fist, like you always, and you see guys like Ryan Otley, like definitely like his inspiration comes definitely from that. Those early Spider-Man stuff with him was so awesome. And when he carried over to the early Savage Dragon stuff was all just sick.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Savage Dragon, especially early on. People are going to hate me bringing it up again, but I always talk about that censored issue. I think it was issue 31. I'll just say it, the "Don't Fuck with God" issue on the full page, center spread, and finding that and knowing about that. But that's another one of those like cool things you don't find out about until somebody says, "Hey, did you know about this?" And it's one of those like pink signature type finds. If you guys ever are going through back issue bins and you find, I think it's 31, and it'll say in the image I on the indicia. Is that how you say it? Indicia. It's definitely not indica.
I could have swore I heard Stan Lee call it indicia.
Indicia.
Definitely indicia.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, pretty sure it's indicia.
Well, I'm gonna keep
It's
calling
okay.
it sativa.
Indica's weed. Weed.
Yeah, well,
Marijuana.
and marijuana. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Let's get into some whatnot talk, because I know people are really stoked on that, and people are going crazy for it. I think Mel on Drunken Chat was like, "Hey, for all those people out there that are having whatnot problems, just hit up McClay. He'll figure it out. He'll help you out." And I'm like, sorry, guys.
That's fucking classic, dude. I love that shit.
Yeah. But one of the early adopters to that was Clutch. How long have you been doing the whatnot sales?
A few months, I think. I'm trying to remember when we exactly started our first one. I could probably pull up an app here. It would probably tell me. It was sometime in like April or May, I believe. Was the first time.
Yeah,
So I've only been doing it like once a month, just because of our schedule with Comics All Live. Normally, we have that same rotation. So, it's been awesome. I really enjoy. I think it's not having conventions has been a really tough thing for me, because like at some years, like I've gone to 24 shows in a year, and you're just like, I love the energy that comes from that, and seeing fans and talking to people and whatever. And that gave me the same, I don't want to say it, like, I guess the same high as being able to sit there and talk to fans and like converse about stuff, even though you're talking to yourself most of the time, except for like the chat that pops up from time to time. But, it's awesome. I love it. It's such a good format.
One of the things that I really want to get better about and figure out ways to even, pump a little steroids into it is the chat aspect of it. Because you are kind of talking to yourself, having people not just join or saying hi, like having people actually, talk to you in the chat is a very big deal. That people start doing more of that. It helps the seller. It helps the energy of the room, because when you're there by yourself and you're just talking, and a lot of people haven't done that before, like they aren't radio hosts or something, and they aren't used to talking by themselves, it can be very daunting and anxiety driven. But when the chat starts getting in and talking, and if there's more ways to engage the chat, it really helps. So for all you out there that are buying on whatnot, have those chats live and start talking. I want to figure out a way to like make that even more hype. Shawn, you had your another sale the other night. How did that go for you?
It went well. Second time was a lot easier than the first. I ran similar. I probably only ran a few more. It was, let's say, around 40. I think it's maybe 42 or 43. A couple of the Bite Now slabs sold that I listed. I probably won't list as much next time, and I'll advertise which ones I'm gonna auction when I do it. But I've mostly been doing raws on there because I got a lot of stuff. So it was really good. It was fun. It was live. So advertising finally kind of definitely helped. We built up a community of people that kind of follow each other around. We also just kind of just advertise with each other, but support each other with even the technical stuff, because people have had problems. I luckily haven't had the technical issues that other people have had. And I don't think they're far reaching, and they do try to definitely fix it up for us as soon as something goes. But yeah, it's kind of, I like having some music in the background, but following the legal advice on the show, I do some instrumental stuff that's probably harder to find, even though the video disappears right away. So that's the other hard thing, is not hard, but I would like to at least play back some of the stuff that I said for myself, just to see. It's not as bad because um, I mean, it's freestyle, but it's just like this show. But the difference is tomorrow I can turn this on in the morning and be like, what was I talking about again? Did that come off a little weird? And I can play it back when I'm there. And so it's fun trying to be, I try to be as honest as I can about the books I'm selling. I've got too many comics to press and grade everything that I feel like doing. So I've been trying to put together some nice stuff and some good some minimum wage for whatnot. Yeah. So some good stuff that people would really want, and I'm going to keep trying to. I'm probably going to try to go Wednesday night again, and so I really enjoyed it. It's kind of strange, sort of talking to yourself, not getting feedback, but you definitely try to read all of the messages that are in there, because people have messages about the books. Last time I was just trying to set up auctions to run almost as quickly as possible. The first time, like, I want to hit and run this thing, and this time, following the lead is some of the definitely of our other sellers in there. Try to give a little more of the background on the book, especially because the first time I was running, I did all Marvel the first time, known stuff, Spider-Man stuff, some 90s stuff, things like that, things people know. But this time, I had a lot of variants, or things like Lady Killer second print, and I had a God Country #1 second print, just to give people a little bit of a background. But going when I did, to me, I think at some point I got up to about 80 or so live viewers, which for comics is pretty good.
Yeah, man.
There's not that for comics, so I was kind of happy. I wasn't scheduled, like, there's a lot scheduled on Thursdays. That's why I think I'm going to try to do Wednesday again. Less competition. On Thursday, I had like 4 or 5 people that I know, and then some other good sellers that I might not know personally, that were all live at the same time. And I'm trying to get, like, in and out, but I also, I've got stuff to do. I can't, hey, Mrs. Leggett, I'm going to be watching auctions all night and ignoring the world, so that it's like, you know what I mean? That's just kind of like, that's so the way I know who asked earlier, so I just wanted to say, can't really right here. It's back there. I could pick it up, but it's not a big deal. But a little like a phone tripod thing I got on Amazon, that it just sort of sits in there, and there's an opening on the bottom, so that, well, my phone happens to be charging right now as well. But
like this.
That's exactly that one.
Oh,
yeah. Or damn near. Anyway, but yeah, so I've got 2 of those. I open on my phone, and I open it up, and it sets there as the camera, and I have a long cord. So some of the stuff that I was selling, I'd pick it up, or I'd put it on the shelves, which are behind me. I face that direction, and so I have some of the stuff on the shelves, but I would replace the main auction book would be in the front at all times. And so so usually the phone wouldn't move much. And then I have the iPad on the left, and I would control it with that. So I get everything started and do the rest on there. So, and like a couple of auctions, I type all the names of the books ahead of time. A couple of the auctions I ran sort of impromptu on the slabs. I'm like, this is a cheaper slab, not something I'm worried about. You have to see how the bidding goes. And like, I'm not going to start every slab I have at $1 until, even though we had a lot of great viewers, a lot of great purchases and stuff like that. And auctions are about evening out on your money. You make more on some and less on some, and then that's how it goes.
Shawn, I just had my first sale yesterday. Okay. I fumfered, had no clue what the hell I was doing, but it was still fun. Now, you mentioned you typed out the info on what you were selling ahead of time. Now, were you able to do that after schedule? Did you have to schedule the live first in order to type out the info, or no?
No, so I probably scheduled a week ago, and even though I had in my head kind of stuff that I wanted to run, I didn't, I knew I was gonna, now being the second time around, I was gonna probably do some variants and things like that rather than popular Spider-Man stuff or whatever. So I went with that. So I scheduled it probably a week ago, and actually I didn't list the books live until that morning. So I made it, and then I went in, I listed I put it does alphabetize, so you have to think of it that way. But I sort of put a different sort of structure to the order I wanted to sell the books. And if people are in there specifically asking for something, you can just scroll down the list. It doesn't have to go in any order. And so, but the way I do it is my workaround. So I wrote bin for anything that I wasn't going to auction, and then I typed out the information, such CGC 9.8, blah blah blah. And then for the auction numbers, because it's kind of the order I wanted to do it, I the first two things I type are 01, 02, 03, 04, and then it'll automatically, and use the two digits, and unless you're running 100 something, but yeah, but it's so 40 something for me was good because I put 40 nice books. There's always going to be like a few throwaways to start where people are sort of still logging on and things like that, and so yeah, I picked the order I wanted to go in, and stuff I wanted to talk about people, tell people about the books that were on there, why they're good books. Some went really well, and a few didn't, but it happens. It's auctions. It's always going to be that way.
So Styx asked a really good question about the scheduling of the listings, and I had a problem with that. So what I did is I spent like the first half of yesterday putting in all my listens. I must have put in like 3/4 of a short box in there. And then I went on Richie's sale, shout out to Dollar. I went on him just to hang out with him and just BS and, have a good time. And I plugged my USB mic into my phone. And now usually your USB on the mics is what powers your mic. So it's taking power for the phone. And like an idiot, I forgot about that. And it drained my phone while I was on there with Richie. And then my sale started right after Richie's sale. And my phone was dead. It died. Right. So I was late getting on my whatnot sale. And all my listings disappeared when I finally made it on. Because if you miss by a certain amount of time on a scheduled event, it deletes it, I believe.
Interesting.
Yeah. So one of the things is a lot of people are talking about there's a lot of issues and this and that. Well, you guys got to remember, like, this is a new thing that they're rolling out. There's going to be a lot of changes and they're getting an influx of stuff. People are saying, it's a long time to wait for some of this stuff. Don't worry.
It's still in beta, right?
Yeah.
This is still the version 1 of the platform, and we've been talking to Chancellor and Jack, Mr. Bolo, who definitely are these guys are being awesome with us, like I said, the platform and whatnot, and they're like, hey, like, we've got a new build coming. I mean, I guess this whole first beta version was really like the guy who created it they're still running off that first version, so like they're putting a ton of time and effort into getting that new version rolled out, and I expect it to be pretty awesome once it does get put out.
Yeah.
And the other quick thing I want to say, this is just a little bit of advice. You can't watch it. I don't know what the future plans are. You can't watch past live streams now. So if you don't type in what your books are, like when you go to print out your shipping label, you better know what book 1 was and book 2 was. You know what I mean? So I see some people that are just running through a box of stuff and don't want to enter all that, which you do have to enter on a device. You can't enter it on a desktop. It's like, to me, I typed it up in Docs and then honestly copied and pasted it back and forth into the app, which is, takes a second. So like, that's the most, and I know I should probably buy a keyboard for my iPad or whatever, but like that, I never needed one before, and that's the way I've been doing it, because that's my workaround for now. Yeah. But also, if you don't have it, you got to know what those books are. So like, if you're just gonna go, I'm gonna go comic 1, comic 2, there's not gonna be a list, and you can't refer to your video. So you see a lot of people with Post-its writing down like who won what and things like that. And so yeah, that's just a word of advice. Is like, if you're a seller, you better, when that thing's over, it's over. So you got to know who bought what if you didn't type your titles in.
Yeah, Shawn,
so I don't have a way to keep track of that. Like I don't want to write stuff down. I like printing stuff. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, Sean, I really loved your idea of putting the numbers so you can kind of like manual order that stuff, because when it is an alphabetical order, like you're not able to kind of. I like to be able to go through when I'm doing the show, and I want to start off a little slow, some like cheaper stuff, get people talking, put something a little hyped up in there, then like build to the big stuff towards the end. So people are like, oh my God, I finally get to bid on this like super rare book or whatever. So doing the numbers is a really good idea. I might have to steal that from you. So
I stole it from a Blue Green Artifact who's in the chat right here, and it
Awesome.
works great. So
Thank you
thanks,
so
Tony,
much.
and you guys should follow him too because he does auctions all the time, and they're great.
Yeah.
So
I mean, ultimately, I think the most important thing that I've heard people talk about wanting is the integration to PC. I don't know how close they are to getting that, or if they're really working on that right now. But once that happens, I think that's a game changer. And man, a lot easier on the PC. The phone stuff makes it great, and I know everybody's on their phone. Phone stuff makes it great because you can basically be anywhere doing anything and start a sale. So that's awesome. But once we get the PC integration, and it'll make stuff so much easier. I know that we're starting to see more retailers start showing up on there. We're starting to see some of the clutches on there with Skybound stuff. We're starting to see some of the groups that are going to give it a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for, like credibility, I guess. And the most important thing to me is that the sellers work really hard to not pump up something that a book isn't, talking about what it really is and that type of stuff. Because
I'm so happy that you guys are there. Like when I first turned on Whatnot, and it was like the land of the fucking trash pandas, and I'm like, this is horrible. This is terrible. And Jack, God bless him, reached out and was like, I'm involved. Things are going to be moving quick. And people just started pumping or like popping up on there. And there's some really legitimate sellers that are selling some really good books and still major opportunities, because it's not like eBay where it's rare that books slide through for absolutely nothing. That stuff happens all the stinking time on Whatnot. So I think there's a lot of promise. I really am excited about the future of the platform. I hope the technology evolves at the pace that I sort of anticipate that it will.
Yeah. It's exciting. It's interesting. The third market has been the fastest growing thing. I never imagined that it'd be this fast growing. We talk about the third market a lot, like with people like Jesse James, who does the comic book shopping network. Of course, the Whatnot app. There's probably going to be more things popping up here for this third market stuff, because that's where everything's going. Whether you love Amazon or not, man, it's pretty damn easy to shop from home. So, and hearing from a lot of LCSs, about jumping on this platform and utilizing it when they can too, because, for those local comic shops that are out there not utilizing the internet, whether it is to advertise, sell, whatever, it could be an issue down the road if it's not already an issue.
Yeah, one of my when things were on lockdown, one of my local stores, they did, like, I think every week they did sales, and through Facebook, and just trying to keep track of everything, and it was basically they had to like, it was like a claim, you know what I mean? And so they put something up, and like whoever was the first on the trigger to say claim, Hulk 183 or something like that, then they'd get it. But then they'd have to look and see who did it actually first. You know what I mean? And that was just a pain in the ass for them.
Well, yeah, because the tech isn't conducive to that. I mean, for example, on the IG claim sales, if you're not, you're not sitting there like watching your IG page. So Instagram doesn't necessarily order them based on when it actually goes. It just gives you the minute. So if you get like, two people at the same time, there's beef. Someone's going to cry about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the seller, and it's the people who, at least in comics, the customer's still always right. You know what I mean? Maybe not at McDonald's anymore, but certainly in comics. I mean,
another good thing about it that happened to me is Stein was bidding on one of the books I was selling, and he fat fingered something, and of course a $25 bid turned into a $125 bid.
Ooh.
And it ended that way, and it was very easy for him, to hit a cancel, and me to accept it, which was nice. And I just reran it again, so that was good.
I had one very similar to that where I think it was a Redneck #1 CGC sold for like $1,500, and the guy meant to type in 15.00, but he did, because you can't put in a decimal point, so it was like $1,500.
Yeah.
And Donnie was pumped. He's like, "Oh, I'm the best."
God bless him.
So I guess the sellers can cancel. You can't cancel during a live though. So if something's going to be canceled, you might be able to run that. I had a guy. He was driving and he meant to put 25 and bid 225. And for something that was probably worth $80, and and this is in the first 10 seconds of the minute wrong auction. So I'm something, oh, okay. You'd think I'm gonna be excited, but I'm I'm not trying to, I didn't tell anybody, I didn't just get on there and say these are worth 300 on eBay. I don't lie to people, So it's I'm all, okay, I like when things go a little high.
It's the greatest spec in the world.
Yeah, I like when they're absolutely beautiful books, but I like when they go a little high, and I'm like, all right, hey, you wanna if didn't he say he said something about bidding while driving? He listens to us. I don't know if he's on right here. And then the other thing is you're not in contact with these people. So unless it's like us, we happen to maybe know people's screen names a little more from doing the show, or from Instagram or whatever. So we sort of know, so often do we know people, or people at least know who we are to keep in contact us. And it took a day or two, and basically he's like, one of the books, but if you could do something, I'm because I'm on, dude, we can cancel. I'll send your money back. I'll run the same auction next week. I don't, you know what I mean? It's fine. I'm not here to rip anybody off just because they bid wrong. I mean, not very many times, but I've had to cancel a couple bids on eBay before, in history, bidding $1,200 instead of $120 and just not paying attention. And then luckily I immediately noticed it. And so he's pretty much, he's make some similar stuff to make it worth it. No, sounds good to me. You know what I mean? I keep the money. I promise he's going to get more than that in value, It'd just be selling it and stuff like that. So it is what it is, but there's no replays of your videos, and there's no, which is my one only caveat, because sometimes that's why I try to be as honest as I can. I mean, I'm always going to try to be as honest as I can.
Well, you guys can
you got 1 minute or 2 minutes to describe what the hell you're working with. I don't have time to
You guys can screen record. You know that, right?
Okay.
We'll talk about that.
I can't 2 hours screen record on 2 or 3 hours.
And it sucks the battery out.
Through your battery.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could probably turn this webcam onto that.
Oh my God.
I don't have any problems with not having it. It's fine, because when I'm done, I go into the shipping and I see what it is, and I put together. Actually, I clear off that table, and I make piles. Who bought what, and I actually ship standing up that day. I walk back and forth, package it up I have another table sitting next to me. Get them, package it up over here. Got Netflix. My screen is this big, so I get Netflix over here. I ship, because it's gonna take a while to ship all that stuff there. Yeah, and that was always, and I'm kind of used to this because that was always my goal in my Sunday night eBay auctions, was to tell people, hey, search by and click on my listings, go by ending soonest. I'll combine all your shipping. You're only paying for the first book, and that's the other thing with the combined shipping here. You only pay for your first book, and then it's $1 for each extra one. So I think it's $4.50 for first class. Anything over £1 is going to go USPS. Anything under that is going to go priority. So although I have cent priority by putting a pound on like $300 raws and stuff like that, because I don't feel like they should be floating around. But in any case, and so then it adds like $1 a book, and that's why you see people buying like dollar books and then only paying $1 for shipping on the people that spend 4 hours a day selling dollar books. So
Yep.
I'm not saying I'll never do that. You might get some trash panda from me on a Tuesday afternoon someday, but not in the. Well, my wife has me clearing out the garage. You won't see that. You won't see that shit in prime time.
Real quick, 200 live viewers right now. Some of the people in the chat I want to hit up on. Brandon P says, will there be a Flipside TV guide? I hate to miss any sales from honest dealers. That is something we're really working hard on. We're trying to figure out how to pull this off. As Shawn said, there's a large group of people that are really, working hard to try and, create like a community there of honest sellers and that type of stuff. So once we figure it out the right way to do it, there will definitely be a quote unquote TV guide going on. I'm surprised that there's not something. Maybe Whatnot's working on something like that. I don't know, but it's definitely a good idea and something we're going to be hitting on. Heroes Reborn Comics just gave away one of my books that I never talk about because I don't want anybody to get it. And he says, Brian, when you can, check out this Arthur Sudum cover, The Man with No Name. It's a variant by Dynamite. And I wish you wouldn't have said anything, man, because that's a damn good cover.
Oh, that's fucking sweet, dude.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, yeah, really, really good. So shout out to Heroes Reborn. Thanks for ruining my cornbread. Good stuff. All right. Let's see here. Sean McCurdy says, do you have to have a printer to get shipping labels, or do they mail the labels to you? And this is the reason why I bring that up, is because that's a question I have. I still haven't seen, I don't know how to get my shipping labels. So
the way I did it's a couple months ago when I set up, Jack asked me on, over DM, and I told him what I use a Dymo label printer, and I'll even die by a Dymo 4XL because they print your label in 1 second and you never have to buy ink for the rest of your life. So he asked me, so they print that size, and I think it's going to come where you can more customize your labels. I haven't tried because mine was already set up correctly for me. I know like some of these ones, like I won a book from Mel actually, and it was here. His labels laying here somewhere. His labels print bigger, or he doesn't have it set up. But to the best of my knowledge, you're gonna have to you got to print your own. Like, yeah.
So how do you find the labels?
Too, and I print from the desktop, because you can go onto you can log in from the website and print it out through there, and so it just goes right to the. But the label maker is honestly like Shawn said, like that's the thing. It saves your life. Not having to buy ink from it. Like the thermal printers are amazing.
Yeah, it's great, absolutely great. You would go. Actually, what you do is if you're logged in on a desktop. See, I don't know how to print them from my phone. I just don't bother. I'm sitting in my office when I'm printing anyway, so I haven't tried it from a phone. Like you just brought up in the comments there. You go to live sales, and then you'll say select live stream. And it's a drop-down menu of all your live streams, and so you go to the last one you had, and then you have print label. So here's the deal that you got to be careful, because we'll say print label or edit. So if you set it up correctly, like a single comic to me is set up correctly, I don't have to think about it. But if I'm somebody bought 5 comics, I got to weigh it. So yeah, that's it, dude. So the edit button. So that first one, that guy bought all those books from you. You're gonna hit edit. And then you're gonna go in when after you package them up and weigh it, you're gonna hit edit, change the weight, especially the weight, and then the size of measure your box, or if you know what size it is, and that's it. But for the X-Men 234 there in the middle with like a single, the Wolverine disc with only a single, if you have it set up correctly at 7 ounces, hit create label and it'll pop up.
Excellent.
So,
excellent. This is all good information.
You got to hit. Kind of, if you mess it up, it's kind of clunky, but you can do it. You got to refresh a couple times, Like I definitely did. I had something I was trying to put, change it to pounds instead of ounces, and I didn't do it correctly. And anyway, it printed a 1 ounce label, and there's like 8 comic books I'm shipping, which obviously is not going to work out there. Like that's the kind of shit that's going to get sent back, which obviously we don't want. And so with like edit and refresh, it took me like 2 times, or maybe I did it wrong the first time, and I was able to print out the correct label. I just had to try a couple times. And I know that they have a deal with the USPS in place, so the prices aren't going to print on the labels or anything like that. It's going to look like bulk shipping, but it is going to have your definitely going to have your ounces and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's not like you can't put everything. But the people pay for the shipping, and you don't even have to think about it. That is what's easy. You know, other than, of course, you got to weigh it, but nobody's mad somebody bought 10 books from you.
Yeah.
So
Steve says, if all of you in the chat don't follow Skybound's live vault, you're missing out for collectors and flippers. And to me, this is, like I said earlier, it's one of the coolest things that I see coming, is that the larger retailers and publishers and stuff getting involved on this. What Clutch is doing is a big deal in this, to create this or help this third market flow. And like a lot of people are saying, this could be where, you know, with cons being on the slow and everything, like this is our cons now. This is how it works, you know, post COVID, I guess. But let's cross our fingers.
Ain't gonna be none of that shit. What the fuck are you talking about, Brian?
Hey, me and George, we know the cons.
Exactly right. I think I'm gonna do one. In fact, you know what? Because you said that, I'll be in Cincinnati 30 days from today. I'll be there fucking Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll have a table. I'm buying it tomorrow, unless he's sold out. I'm fucking in.
Only thing
Baltimore, come buy my books. Whatever.
Yeah. Let's cross our fingers, though. You guys, we've talked about it a lot already. If you guys are planning on going out to Baltimore, please hit us up. Let us know. Stop by and see us. As long as everything goes well, we're going to be there.
Try also not to catch COVID if you're coming to Baltimore. I appreciate you not contracting the Delta variant for us. So,
amen.
That. Yeah.
Amen. So
for you, I guess.
Just get over it before you get there. Then your antibodies
or
that
party. Right, one or the other. You got 2 weeks to get sick and get well.
So I'm going to be there handing out I'm going to be there handing out medicine in the form of alcohol, so people can thoroughly wash the insides of their bodies while they are at the con.
Yeah.
So that's what
he might even hit you on the outside. Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It'll
be like holy water.
Down your beard a little. It happens. Yeah. Baltimore is going to be fun. I'm.
Yeah, Clutch, you coming?
That it's coming, man.
No, we're not. We're not.
That's disappointing.
I know.
Take a flight, man.
I've got travel. I'm heading out to Chicago in 2 weeks for the AEW wrestling shows. So that's my most recent travel binge. And then I think we're doing Emerald City Comic Con, and we're doing C2E2, and probably going to be showing up at New York Comic Con as well. I think Jack was talking about Whatnot's going to do some cool stuff out there, so we'll probably be walking around that show too.
Yeah. Speaking of wrestling, it's been rumored that Leg and McClay are going to throw me around like a young fucking luchador and smack my head off of something in Baltimore. I'm not really looking forward to it, but I'm agreeable just for showmanship value. You know what I mean? Like,
we went to a midget wrestling event one year. It was
I'm picking up what I'm putting down, sir.
It was a time. It was a time.
I'm gonna get power bombed.
It's a shame Clutch isn't coming, because we could compare McClay's hair to his beard. I mean, they're both glorious things.
I say Clutch and Drew fly out and have just the boys weekend. You don't have to work all the cons in.
It's true,
yeah, right?
You can just go. It's gonna be fun.
Waxing, waxing, ready to go. Let's do it.
Yeah. Real quick, before we move on to the next topic, one of the cool things that's been happening lately on the channel that I absolutely love is we're getting love from a lot of comic shops and people selling comics and talking about their shops and stuff. and I absolutely love that, getting hit up by, all kinds of people saying, hey, we love the show, this is our shop out here. And there is one person that I want to give a shout out, because I think what he's doing is one of the coolest things in comics, and that is Single Wide D. If you guys are on Instagram, give Single Wide D a follow. Absolutely great Instagram, just a cool comic book collector, music fan that also has his comic book store, Contagion Comics, and he basically built it right next to his house, and really cool stuff. He lets you know what's going on down there. He's always throwing up, let me see if I can find this. He's always throwing up Instagram videos about his shop and stuff like that. It's just fascinating that people, in this day and age of a lot of things being closed, are kind of flipping it around and changing it up, that type of stuff. So shout out to Single Wide D at Contagion Comics. This is it's just really cool. I love stuff like that. And the reason why I bring this up is because Dwayne Scott brings up Backyard Con. So very cool stuff. Shout out to Single Wide D. Keep selling those comics, brother. And if you guys are in the area, I'm not exactly sure where he's at. I think it's down south somewhere, but really cool stuff. And he's a Hatebreed fan too, so score. That being said, you want to get into market report there, Z?
Sure, why not?
All right, let me get this stuff set up here. Let's kill this. Let's kill that. And let's rock some market report.
All right, hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you like the market report, go subscribe to the channel. Check out the playlist for market report. It's being updated as I speak, and there will be clips of all the other market reports on there. I'm going to start being better about putting up last week's market report next week type deal. So make sure you guys check out the market report playlist.
And some night this week, I don't know when, but the boys and I put together a international market report that we'll be dropping. So Global Comic Safari is back. I just want to start with the big boy books, because I rarely see books like this on eBay, but this one dropped, and I thought, wow. Even a restored copy, 1.5, but it looks nice. $15K.
Yes, it does. Dude, I love the mouth breathers on fucking the internet that are like, Robin's been around for 50 years and now he's gay. And I'm like, you fucking guys are morons, but like don't understand Tim Drake and Dick Grayson. It's my favorite thing on the internet right now. I probably shouldn't like it. I know that there's like something probably morally wrong with enjoying that people don't understand, like even the basic differentiation between multiple Robins, but it makes me happy. I'm sorry.
That's a good buy for 15 grand.
What the hell's wrong with it?
I didn't zoom
What's
in.
The resto?
I couldn't get a good picture of the resto.
The nicest 1.5 I've ever seen in my entire life.
It says resto, so
yeah, I'm sure there's some serious work on it. But like I said, you just didn't used to see books like this on eBay, and that kind of tells you to how much kind of the market is going, because you can't. Even the auction houses, our friend ETA Nick talks about all the time, like each comic link, there's more and more and more books going. So kind of all that excess has to go somewhere. And right now it's flowing to eBay. It's flowing to all these other apps and opportunities.
ETA Nick bought a modern book?
I didn't.
Yeah. It was such a big deal. I put it on Instagram. Made me happy.
What did he buy?
Spirits of Vengeance, the Native American Ghost Rider. He liked the Sienkiewicz cover.
Nice.
It was a big deal. It was monumental.
Hey, he's an OG. He does his thing.
Amen. Much like our man Dick Grayson.
This is one you don't see often either.
That's a good buy, dude.
Yeah, I wish I'd seen that. That's a decent looking copy, even if there's some structural stuff wrong in the back that I can't see. That's the nicest cover of this book I've seen.
I saw a guy trying to peddle a copy that looked like that for like $7,000 this weekend.
Yeah. I'm surprised you saw one.
I was too. I was like, hey, let me see that. I was like, how much is this? He's like $7,000. I was like, here, you take that back. I'm going to go over here now.
I'm pretty sure that I think I should only buy comics in the summer and then almost forget about it for like 9 months.
No doubt about it, brother. Yeah, no doubt about it.
You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about dollar bin stuff, but like books like this.
Just sell
you know what I mean?
the rest of the year, right?
And then, and then don't even, unless you're going to leave something high, buy it now or something. I'm doing great, having a great time also and whatnot. But, you know, not that this, no offense to whatnot, but this isn't a whatnot book yet. You know what I mean? So the pockets aren't quite deep enough there yet.
I am surprised it went that cheap, honestly. I don't.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. I didn't see it. Like I said, only dude. See, but I'm one of the people that takes the summer off too. So
this
is the joy of doing the market report. All the things in hindsight that I miss every week that I'm like,
oh, dude, it's the worst. Yeah, it's the worst. It was like the best and the worst part of doing the market report.
Yeah, you're the first to realize how screwed you did the pooch.
Well, it's like initially hopeful because you're like, well, look, there's opportunity, and then you're like, wait, I didn't get any of these.
No. There was a nice run of Matt Baker covers. This Canteen Kate 1 stood out.
I think the 2 was up this week too.
Yeah, there's definitely, I don't know if it was a full run, but a lot of the kind of these, not the big boy Bakers, but there was a nice little run somebody put up of, you know, these kind of mid-tier Baker books.
And I saw 7.5 on one of these at a show.
Wow.
And that's impressive for this book.
That's a nice presenting.
This one, hell yeah! One.
So
I'm betting Tony L won this also up in Minnesota.
I'd be happy for him.
Me too.
A nice looking Batman 121.
Absolutely, it is. That presents real well. There's another one that if you tried to buy it, cost you 5-6 stacks.
Well, I'm a little concerned. It's not a big name seller with a raw graded book. You know, you never know what to think. You know, somebody's only a couple hundred feedback. So, you know, if you're buying raw books, you're taking some gamble there.
Notice there's only 5 pictures. Like for a book like that, you need to, at the very least, use up all 12.
That's my thing. Is this guy didn't? I'm not convinced this guy knows what he's doing. So
right.
Now it is a pretty looking book. So somebody could have bought a much nicer copy and not known it too. So upside downside on that thing, you know?
Yeah, because with this book you need out of those 5 pictures, 3 of them, minimum 3 have to be first inside page, last inside page, and centerfold.
Yep. Amen.
Yep.
It's like so that means a front, back, and that.
Yeah.
front, back, side to side.
Yeah.
So
it's like one of my listings. It's not good.
Yeah, no, I take more pictures on Very Fine Moderns. Okay.
Exactly. I mean, I rare that I don't use 12 pictures unless it's a slab. At which point I'm like, I'm probably going to give you 2, maybe 3 if I want you to see something on the label. But man, it's potentially a great buy for somebody there.
Yeah.
Or a shit show and a return. 50-50. If you want to tie up $2,500.
Yeah.
This one, Jesus Christ. Buy-in on an X-Men one, 8K.
Remember when we were crying about paying, what was it that neither you nor I would pay for that slab we saw in the Berg? See?
Oh.
I think Carter knows about it too.
Yeah, I know what it was. I saw it 1 year, and then I went back 2 years later and it's still there. And every time I asked, it went up. I think it was a 2.5 or a 3 maybe, and he had it at 3K at the time.
Yeah, right.
3,500.
So I go back here in the last, I don't know, year or something. I'm like, how much? He wouldn't give me a price, and then it disappeared from the case.
Yeah, how many times did I pass it up and I feel like a jackass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, back in 2012, I saw a copy, not unlike that, for $700. I just didn't have the money for it.
No, I mean it used to be a grand a point, or even $800 a point.
I sold my 1.0 for $1,200 cash.
And at the time, you were happy as shit.
Years ago, I was happy,
out of the room.
although sad because that was definitely above market, and this was at a show.
Wow.
And I had it on the wall at 12, and I know I paid 5, but I bought it raw. But I mean, it was a 1.0. Then this looks better than what mine looked like.
That's a nice
but it was still my only freaking copy. And then I was like, I should reinvest and get a 2.0 now. and I didn't do it. And this is like years ago, and then it's always escaped. And then I was gonna get another beat up Raw for under 1,000 on eBay, and that auction never came to fruition, even though I tried like 25 times. And then it was like, okay, well, it's going to be 2,000, and now I'm just going to be upset with the grade that I have, and a 1.0 for $8,000 isn't really where I'm trying to spend my $8,000 right now.
Heard that, dude. What's wrong with this book? Like, did they light the back of it on fire?
Yeah, good question.
I mean, like, it looks great.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's got more pictures than the Raws, so who knows?
Kudos.
I even think it says off-white pages up there.
This is a book I underestimated, man. I actually, for some god-awful reason, I was buying these books cheap because I was a fan of the story of them stealing the Watchmen characters from the Charlton book. So I'd had some of them stacked away, and when this book hit, I sold my copies for, I don't know, $200, $300, and thrilled as shit. And now I'm like, $1,000? What?
You're ready for mine? And I love the people that help me sell books on the internet, so don't take this the wrong way if you're watching. But John fucked me, okay? So mine went up in a lot. Dude didn't pay. It was sold for nothing. I was so excited. I like danced around like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Weeks pass. The book goes to the moon. He sends John a direct message. John's like, oh, I sold that book. I'm like, you did what? Fuck. And it was gone. And my high grade copy went for like rock bottom old prices. And not just one, like it was 2 copies of Fighting 540, like all the Peacemakers, none of the like reprint modern crap, like all of them just in a giant lot. Like I dumped
like this one,
like that one too. It was in there. I mean, they were just all multiple copies.
Well, that being said, let me ask about Peacemaker.
Through a DM on eBay.
Do you guys think that the movie did him right, and we're gonna see more popularity out of that character, or do you think that now is the time to sell and this stuff's going to be going down? I know we got a series coming of him.
I think there will be second life on that TV show, and it will be more popular than his character will be more popular as a result of the TV show. But I don't know that the prices are going to fluctuate that much.
I can't imagine how much more they go up, but I
mean, if you want to die with them, don't sell them. If you want to get rid of them, you can get rid of them now, and I don't think you're going to be losing a lot of money. I really don't.
They're seriously overperforming expectations.
Amen.
So,
hell, even that Peacemaker #1 from DC, mid 80s? That's like a $20 to $30 book.
That sells. Yeah, you're the second person that told me that because I've got stacks of them I got to find.
That's what I'm saying. Shit.
Right.
But them boys are brisk.
Oh, this is a famous warehouse find lot.
Yeah, sure.
10 Champions ones for $76.
Original owner.
It's a warehouse find, but they're all in completely different conditions. They're in different bags and boards. I can tell by
the warehouse is my garage, sir.
No, it's just like, why did I buy these stupid ass? First off, it's like, why did I buy these? Oh, by the way, this was one I was looking for 9.8, and then it finally jumped. I was like, this is one of the last ones that like people aren't really paying attention to. Not that I think this champion spec is so great, but because the characters being mostly popular, at least for me, Ghost Rider. So I did not find the 9.8 in that either. Son of a bitch.
Real quick, somebody brought up a question about the Peacemaker stuff. ES says, hey guys, what do you think about the first Peacemaker DC continuity appearance? You think that's worth chasing?
I think all that stuff's stupid. From the bottom of my heart.
What, first continuity stuff or first Peacemaker stuff?
Like, no, first continuity stuff. Like, all those people are like, this is the first Star Wars in Marvel continuity. And I'm like, throw your fucking trash books away. Go cry and pout in the corner that you didn't pick up the Dark Horse shit. Like, it's like these days, people have this thing where they're like, well, I don't have the book, so I'm going to make up the book. And that's cute and shit. Like, it's when they dupe some other poor bastard into thinking that that's the book that they should chase. That's when I think they can go fuck themselves. Like, I don't have the first appearance, so this is the first appearance with the new costume on, or like some nonsense. It's like, get out of here.
Yeah,
like, you don't
I
have
love
the
that
book.
stuff. I love that stuff. I'm all about origins.
But you like it for academic purposes, which
Yes.
I do too. That's different. For academic purposes, it's awesome. Love origin books. I think origin books should actually have, like, more considerable value. But this notion of like there's opportunity there as an investment, or like that's what you should be chasing, or I think that's just it's bad juju, legitimately.
High grade.
I like having new
DC
shit
horror.
to chase.
Hey.
I mean, you find these in 9.6, 9.8, man. I don't know where you find them anymore, because if people are passing up, they're idiots. But man, if you see a nice DC horror in a bin, you should probably grab it.
Yeah, agree.
Covers sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a win, dude.
I don't know why when I see a horror book with that approved by the Comics Code, I'm like, ugh. See you later.
That's what everybody said, but that stuff's been passed around and kind of kicked around so long. To find it high grade is tough, and it's all dark covers. And
well, same with romance books. For a long time, I had kind of an aversion to postcode golden age romance books, or really any romance books. But there's a ton of opportunity there, particularly like with the 70s stuff. And I think all this is going to get like a second wave. I mean, the rights and stuff out of DC, for example, is just so smart and high grade.
For sure.
Ooh.
One of the kings of the variants that we don't talk about as much as we used to. I mean, back in the day, this and the Spider-Man and the Saga were kind of the big three. And
remember, we had a raw copy of this sell for less than $2,000 last week.
We did, and I saw somebody very happy they picked it up. I think it was on Instagram, but
oh, good, congratulations.
But just this one's kind of lost its luster for some reason.
Yeah, it's kind of weird seeing a raw one sell for $2,000, and then a couple weeks or a couple days later, you got a 9.8 that sells for almost double it. Isn't it usually like, what's the ratio usually on 9.8s to raw books? Is there a rule of thumb there?
It's not as smooth as it used to be.
2x depends though. It's usually 9.6 price if it looks like a 9.8 for a raw book that's like super duper duper rare.
Yeah, so I don't know. This one feels a little less. I mean, I didn't track the sales data as well as I should have. I was distracted, but I feel like this one's been floating in the same space for longer than it should be.
Chad, PCH, pre-code horror, RRP, retailer. Clutch might know this better than me. What does RRP stand for, Clutch?
Retailer something? I don't
know. It's the retailer roundtable program. So
is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is. So
great.
Yeah, back in the day, Diamond had these like meetings where they would invite retailers to come in and they would talk to them, and this was the first one. I mean, this book sort of like launched big boy, big deal variant comics. Shortly thereafter, we had the Saga RRP, and you done with RRP? That shit's funny. And then Marvel got real spicy with the Wolverine and Siege 3 variants. Dude, did you guys? I hope the Wolverine variant made it to the report. Did it, Z?
I did not catch that one.
9+ or a 9.8.
Damn.
Yeah.
It must not have cruised far enough back.
Yeah.
Or the algorithm sucks. Your choice these days.
Who knows? It's my fault for not sending it to you.
Speaking of regular Saga, seems to have little legs again, because this was floating pretty close to 5 and 6 for a while, so it's starting to eke up again. Good for that.
I'll be honest, I'm really surprised that this isn't $1,000 9.8.
No new issues.
Just kind of hanging.
Does this
it's
need?
ticking up though.
It's still gone up since they quit making it.
Yeah, exactly. It's ticking up. Shit, that's
So
about
there's
twice
that,
the price.
right?
That's
It
2x
had been-
from COVID.
It'd been sitting
No,
at 5 to
Yeah.
5+ for a long time.
Yeah,
Last copy I
350.
had was 5.
A very fine near mint Why the Last Man for $335.
Respectable.
I mean, this book you couldn't give away for a long time. It was DOA for so freaking long, in development hell. Looking forward to at least finally seeing it. But yeah, this one is one that I am sure I held and got tired of holding and sold and forgot about.
But a great number 1 for comic history too, not just for freaking TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And dude, great covers. I think a beloved story. I bet every person on the panel has read all 75 issues. All right. Anybody not read them all?
Of Why the Last Man?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it went to 62.
I didn't
Okay.
read them all in floppies though. I read them in trades.
I don't remember
no,
how
I didn't
long,
read them
but it
in
was-
trades. I'm sorry, I read them in digital. I think I
Nice.
think I read them in digital.
Yeah. It was about that long, right?
Did J.G. Jones do all these covers?
I think so, right?
I don't. I
He
mean,
did.
there may have been somebody else that painted them, but they were all gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, Dennis in Wonder World Comics says, "Ask Clutch when Saga is coming back."
Sorry, hey, my things are breaking up here. Sorry, Dennis. No way.
Sandman continuing to go.
Oh,
Clear.
love it! Freaking love it!
It's a tough 9/8, man.
Yeah.
It is. The Bards are still on my short list. The editorial.
Good
Yeah.
luck.
Not you, Dennis. Karen.
What-
But-
Which one of you didn't tell me you're an idiot? Just go buy it. Is that easy?
I've never seen it. I've never seen
Oh,
one for sale.
there was a copy on eBay, and I was like, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? And I talked to enough people that were like, don't do that. And I hate myself a little bit. For
I
not
don't think
buying
I
it.
would have said don't. I think you wiffle waffled on the price with me.
Okay, maybe
I took
that
a
was
profit
it.
And I sold my 9.8 for $550.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is one at
whatever.
$400. We all
Whatever.
looked at and it's like that's probably undervalued.
That
They didn't come
burger,
up- they
that
didn't come-
9.4 that was up was the last one that's been up. It's been over a year since another one's shown up.
Burger? Okay, close enough.
So here's the question: Blue Green says that will hit 2,500. You guys think that this hits 2,500, or does it have to have
You mean
a
the
good
burger,
run
or
on
do you mean
TV?
No, I mean, dude, it's just Sandman. I don't know. I don't think
It's
it has
just
to have a good run on
Sandman?
TV.
I don't.
I mean, it's Sandman and Death, but Death's iconic. I mean, they changed her a lot for the show.
Yeah, but again, like
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me with the way the prices are kind of inflating everywhere. Because
The only reason I say maybe
all
not.
of our TV frame of reference is Walking Dead 1.
Yeah, but the only reason I say maybe not
I
is the
know.
Boys #1, right? Boys #1's not worth shit, which is
No.
insane. Makes no sense whatsoever.
especially as one of the greatest shows in the history of television.
Agreed. And
I'm sticking by that. I don't give a fuck who disagrees with me.
yeah, 100% agree. But like that, it hasn't that the quality television programming of The Boys on Amazon hasn't propelled that independent issue to the moon. Is what leaves me sort of like scratching my head about Sandman 1 and 8. I love Sandman 1 and 8. They're two of my all-time favorite books, one of my all-time favorite runs.
I just think that maybe this one's been building so long. There's a lot of people with deep freaking coffers of this book waiting to let it go.
I don't know about 9.8, dude.
I know, but
It's a rough 9.8, which
I
yeah.
think there's two things. Number one's got more potential because it's gonna go. Number one's always gonna go. Number 8's gonna depend on how Death hits on the show.
don't worry, guys. We got Invincible coming.
It's always going to be a spectacularly valuable book, I think, though. Like it just integral that, they don't have to be done with it. So there's 277 9/8. That's not a lot for a book that's been known for 30 years, 32 years since 1989.
You
Right?
just don't know what the
you
public's
don't
going to
just dig
grab
and find
versus
it
not.
at Sandman 8 in a bin. There's so there's 277 9/8, 9/8 of the editorial, or 98, not only 9 of the editorial. I mean, I could see that going 10 grand at this point.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and I've always really wanted that book, not necessarily 9/8. Actually, maybe not even 9/8 because I want to open it.
I'll take it in any grade.
Yeah,
I don't
amen.
care.
Yeah. Oh no, I'd rather pay $200
Amen.
for a beater than pay 10 grand for a 9/8. So,
Yeah.
even though I think they're both good purchases.
So here's the question: how many of these graded copies are the burger variant, and they just don't know?
It's about 400.
There's no way. I think this is one that's always been known. Like this was known when
Yeah.
started doing comics.
Yeah, but
this is one of those that has been people been
I love
opening since the
CGC.
90s.
Yeah, but I love CGC. But come on now.
There's probably some that have definitely sneaked by.
There's no dude. If there's 500 copies, 400 of them are in slabs. I believe that in my heart. No one can convince me otherwise. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe
This
I can
one
still
just
find
surprised me. I thought Old Valiant was kind of dead at this point, but
Is that a first print or a second print?
First.
Oh shit!
So
Tough 9.8.
it is.
Yeah,
It's
they're
been
all,
a tough.
they're all scratched up. You basically almost can't. They're really hard to press.
Yeah. I was just surprised that it's still holding strong. So Valiant fans are loyal to the end.
Great, that's more expensive than Solar 1 in most grades. The Gold Key first appearance.
True. This one just amused me because I don't know if I've seen it before. Definitely not a 9/8.
That's sick.
That
It's a
is
pretty
sick.
sweet looking book. I might have dropped $300 on that just to be amused.
Just because you love Malibu comics.
Yeah, just because. Gotta love a little bit of a foil embossed cover. What do I got left? I know nothing about Dragon Ball Z, and this one popped up. I'm like, shit, $300 for volume 3.
For 9.4 for a low grade copy.
You think that? I don't even.
What year is
I got
that?
nothing.
Does that say 06 or 96?
2000.
Oh, it must be
2000.
because of the cover with the motorcycle. Somebody
I got
likes
nothing,
that.
guys. We probably need to call. We need to call in.
Yeah, whatever.
We need to call in the Dragon Ball Z expert.
Oh,
You
fuck,
big- I got-
fucking 9.4.
I got big boomer
Exactly,
energy with
dude.
my last comment. I got nothing. Oh, well.
So I thought one of you guys would do something.
because I don't care enough, and there's too many Z's and V3s and 1s and
Yep.
Viz comics for me to look up, and that's fine. But I now have put it in memory for the next time I find one in a dollar bin. I'm definitely buying it.
Mel
Where's
V,
Nick Hart?
dial us in, man. Nick Hart.
Calling
would
Nick
get you.
Hart. Yeah.
All right. This just caught me because this is one of the best Moon Knight covers out there. I mean, it's just stunning. Still fairly cheap. I mean, I know people have got a lot of 9/8s on this one, but it's a low print ass book for that run.
Yeah, but a raw copy will run you about $150 in high grade. And
That's what I'm
not-
like. You may as well just buy the 9/8.
Yeah, it's not a bad price. I know that because I recently priced these books, and then somebody else was shocked by the price tag of them when they saw them in my bins at a con.
So that shit's over $100 raw.
Yeah,
For
isn't
a
that
nice
crazy?
one.
Yeah.
That's surprising. I mean, it's been a while since I looked, but I mean, sought after. Like
Some of these
it
sell
was
for
easy to get
nothing.
around $60 near mint, and about 100, about 100 less than that. So actually, I think 225, considering what we've seen for the last 6 months or whatever like that, I'd definitely be considering this at 225.
Yeah. and
What
Sean-
about?
And Sean,
I'd probably buy it just because I love the cover so much.
I may be
not even
screwed up
talking about
with
investing.
I may be screwed up with the price. I just know in the last 6 months or so
Uh-huh.
that whenever I was asked that question, that's what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. No.
So
Yeah.
I don't know where it is on the trajectory of like.
And all those, it's like, what is it, like 56 or 57 through 60 or 61? All the plaque covers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
but
always
some of them
bring it
are
up.
way less sought after. Some don't get any heat.
Yeah,
Right,
someone
it's
as
just
cool as
weird.
this, straight up.
Well, the
Yeah,
very last
55 was
issue.
The 55 was the hottest one for a time, and now this one has surpassed it.
Okay.
Which one's 55?
It's the first one. It's the first Stephen Platt issue.
Yeah, it's kind of. He's got his hood off, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He's standing sideways.
Yeah.
I gotcha. But the black one doesn't sell for much, right?
There's two of them. Yeah. There's two all black covers, right? There's the one. We'll look it up. What are we talking about? We got these supercomputers here. Let's look these damn things up.
You can get them pulled up. I'm
sorry.
Yeah.
I looked up the 55. You're definitely right. That was the first one to just go nuts.
This one's slowly churning up because the DC Presents 26 is gone nuclear. I actually prefer this one because the cover's there. Find a newsstand actually is probably a pretty good deal. But just, I don't know. This one always felt undervalued versus the other one. I mean, the other
DC Presents finally went up?
It's been over $1,000 for a bit.
26?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Good. It's a good key. It should be.
You like how no one on the channel paid any attention to that? It's terrible. Except for John. You are the last Teen Titans super fan. I'm rooting for you, buddy.
The show's great, and it's like the DC animation. It's dark. I only put this up because I'd been bitching about this book versus
it's
Shuri
a tough
forever.
9.8.
And finally, Shuri's moving to the 850 range, so people are listening. Thank you.
I thought it was closer to $1,000 already.
Maybe I found a low sale, but for a while they were both sitting at 600, and it's pissing me off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't have either of them. It was just annoying me, the idea.
The Daredevil 10 is the book that there's still opportunity on because she's on the cover. Yeah. And it's still kind of cheap, I think.
Here are the Moon Knight books, John, if you want to take that off for a second. This is issue 59, all black cover, really tough book. And then here's the final issue that is awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, and I think both of those are cheap.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. They do.
There should be more, that's for sure.
Where am I at here? I'm going to need one of you Star Wars guys to tag in on one of these because I had no idea what it was. This Star Wars Old Republic Threat of Peace Con Special Edition. Anyone got anything on that guy?
Nice.
I have never seen that.
I didn't even know there was a Con variant for those Old Republic. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a mini comic in stores. I'm like, I better at least include it. Somebody in the chat will educate us.
Oh, it's a mini comic?
Look at it on the board.
The Threat of Peace, that's a regular backing board? I got you.
I assume so, right?
Probably.
It would be a really weird shot otherwise. The proportions look small, too.
Yeah, the one on the right was only given out to...
well, that one I knew about, the Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
That's a grail amongst people. And the 9.4, I think, is a pretty nice copy because those were, like, not given to comic people. They were given to, like,
workers, right?
Workers, yeah. So
yeah,
it's not a bad buy.
No, I
think somebody's gonna be real happy that they got that.
Hindsight, that's a pretty solid buy.
It's $200 to get into Disneyland now. That's all I gotta say about that.
Right?
Blue Green says it's a Chrome version of first appearance of all the Old Republic game characters. $280 is cheap. It went for $800.
Thank you.
Nice.
I mean, nobody was looking for it.
It's summer, dude. Relax.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There you go. Walking Dead. I don't know that I've seen. I don't look for it, but I hadn't seen one of these. Got me looking. I was trying to find images of the one you had to buy the car with, and I couldn't even freaking find an image of that one. So.
This is it, right?
No, this is the one. I think the first one they gave away at SDCC, right?
Yeah.
Well, we got Clutch here.
Yeah, the one on the right was the first one, and so these are both giveaways for when we did the partnership with Hyundai, and so these were given away at San Diego Comic-Con, and then I think the one on the left was also at San Diego and at New York, and so the one on the right's it's a tiny little booklet. The other one's a larger magazine size, but it's super cool because it's like hand done with like the gaffer's tape to bind it together. They're pretty slick.
So this guy got $391 and got both issues.
Wow. Yeah, that looked like a good deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Clutch, this is when you're going to announce the car giveaway on the channel, right?
Surprise, everybody. Yeah, the car covers too. Those ones were, I see people with him randomly from time to time who bring him to shows to get him signed and whatnot. And yeah, that card was really fun to put together.
Yeah, I dug into it because I was like, well, what's that one look like? And I just couldn't find
it's tough because
photo.
We ended up doing the same cover as we did. I think it was the Skybound 5th anniversary or
the 10th
variant. So it has like a really cool design to cover with the zombie and a bunch of filigree around it. But on the back, the only difference is the one that we gave away on our Black Friday deal that didn't have a logo on the back, and then the Hyundai one had a Hyundai logo on the back.
That's what, okay. That makes sense. I was like, I keep seeing this listed there, and I'm like, this is not that book.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
I'm gonna write that shit down.
Yeah.
Someday that's going to pay off.
Clip it. You got one more, right?
That's right. We were going to talk some Invincible because why not? There were no number one sales this week. There was a couple of the Larry's special edition, but to me, this is kind of the sleeper in the run. I think that the show didn't really delve too far into Alan, and I think as it goes on, people will realize how critical it is, and
it's like
probably
first team. There's so many characters in the second issue; it's ridiculous.
No.
Issue 5.
No, I meant to grab 5. I sent him 4 or 2. Sorry,
2 was Team and Eve and all that stuff.
I grabbed the wrong photo. I was looking at both, but 2 is a hell of a book. I meant to grab 5. Probably have it sitting on my phone, but I think these other ones.
All those lower numbered issues are really tough to find in any grade.
Yeah.
I mean, I think through 6 is really tough, and even through 12 or 15 is tough. So
I can't wait
Sleep
to.
And I have a friend that was buying entire runs of this on eBay for years. He would just every time they would come up, he would buy them, and I think it was a brilliant move.
There was a point like 4 years ago, like I think you get a run for like $300, $400.
Wow.
I don't know. I've been searching for one forever, and I feel like that book has always been like a $500 and up book or something, $300 and up.
It's been high for a long time because they were so hard to find.
Yeah. What's going on with? We got any news on Invincible, a big clutch that you can share with us? Maybe what's going on for the animated series or anything coming up in the future?
I mean, the only thing we have is seasons 2 and 3 were greenlit, so those will be going into production. Starting with the writers' room and all that stuff. So I think we're a ways away before they come out. I mean, just animation takes a lot longer, but I'm pumped.
Yeah, they killed it.
I mean, they could be doing that show for 10 years on the because they really only covered what about 6 to 10 issues.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
I don't remember the exact storyline. I mean, it's been a while.
So I think once you get into the cool stuff like Conquest and you get Angstrom, like there's so much stuff, and then I mean, good lord, Battle Beast and Thrag and
the Battle Beast stuff, man.
So,
everybody wants it to be live action. I'm like, this actually might be better because it's almost too epic. It's too much going on. It would cost $1 bajillion to do it justice, and then you'd be 3 issues in.
Yeah. What's funny though, and I just remembered this. So anytime the Invincible or Walking Dead stuff comes up, I bring up my love of Battle Pope. And the funniest thing about the animation for the Invincible cartoon is amazing, and I'm glad they did it. But a lot of people don't realize this, but Battle Pope had an animated series way back when. Do you guys remember that? I think it was like on FX, something like that. And
Spike TV?
Spike TV, you got it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, now that rings a bell.
I had Marco hit me up. He called me in a random time. He's like, hey, I just walked into a bunch of Battle Pope issues. I'm like, are they Funkatron issues? He's like, no. I'm like, well, if they're cheap, I'll take them. But anytime you run into those damn Funkatron issues, buy them. I probably have like 5 or 6 of each copy because I love that character so damn much. And I don't know why I never caught on. I don't know why. Good stuff. All right. Let's get into some of the toy stuff here. Now, this is interesting because, long, short. I talk about these Spider-Man toys, like pre-Legends toys. They were like the movie toys. And Long Short, last time I talked about this figure, Long Short said that he had a carded version and didn't know how much that it went for this much. This is a loose version of the superposable figure, $202 with 23 bids on a loose figure. Absolutely mind-blowing that these sell for that much.
I love it.
Yeah. Next figure, you guys, Thundercats fans out there, you guys remember this figure? Captain Cracker?
It's freaking awesome. I don't know. I got nothing.
I don't, and that looks like something I could never forget if I had seen it before.
Right. That would have stuck in my memory for decades if I had known that toy existed.
This is loose, no accessories, $127 on 28 bids.
Probably worth every penny.
Yeah. Here we go for all the Voltron fans out there. Now, we talk about Voltron a lot and we get into the toys because they were just so monumental. But my biggest regret not regret as a kid, one of my biggest things as a kid that I was so angry when I found out about, I mean, I was super happy when I first got them. I got my first Voltron toys. I got the big plastic ones that you could put these figures in. And when I found out about the little die cast ones, oh man, I was so disappointed. Those die cast ones are so much cooler. But the cool thing about the big ones is you could put the figures in the lions, and somebody kept their carded figures, and 4 of them sold for $365 carded. Absolutely amazing, really cool stuff. So even if you guys have these loose, they'll sell. Here is another one of those crazy sales on the Spider-Man figures. This is the pizza launching scooter figure, $225. So,
Jesus.
yeah. All right. Talk about Star Wars a lot on here. You guys all know about the early bird kit. If you don't, what it was is the very first figures that they released for Star Wars was a send away. You signed a little thing, sent it away, and they gave you the first 5 figures, I think. The tray, just the tray in the early bird kit, $140.
Damn.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the firing missile Boba Fett, how, you know, if you sent away for that and you got yours, they sent you a little sheet that says, sorry, we couldn't do the firing missile, but, you know, if there's an issue, let us know. That sells, just that little piece of paper sells for like $150. Here you guys go again with just the tray and crap condition, sells for $138. And this goes along to, you know, we talk about, like with some of the Golden Age books, that people are out there, like, you know, if you have a copy that's missing a page, they'll Frankenstein copies together, or a cover, they'll Frankenstein it together, and they're looking to complete a book. Well, there's people out there that are looking to complete this whole kit. So stuff sells, and you could have some money in your trash, stuff that you're going to throw away. All right. For all of us nostalgia people, I grew up in the 80s. This takes me immediately back to being a kid. There was Masters of the Universe ones, and then there were Star Wars ones that I remember. And their heads were the caps, and they had bubble bath.
I definitely remember those.
Yeah,
I 100% had these.
I definitely don't remember She-Ra. Definitely don't.
I don't remember She-Ra either. My mom probably didn't want to buy me the She-Ra to get in the tub with.
Yeah,
I'm disappointed in my parents for not buying me the She-Ra.
I see these and I instantly can smell the soap. Like I can smell it, like bubble gum type style smell, like of the. Oh man, it takes me back. Really cool stuff. So I remember I threw away. I was older. My parents were moving, and they pulled out a box, and it had a bunch of empty ones of these, mostly Star Wars ones. And I'm like, yeah, they're probably not worth anything. Just throw them away. Got them.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, back to the Spider-Man stuff. Here we go. One of the coolest action figures ever produced.
I had no idea. That's awesome.
The Spider Hulk action figure from 2006, Toy Biz line. Very tough to find even back then. This figure also goes along with the Dragon Man figure from Fantastic Four, the Mecha Hulk figure. They were all put out by Toy Biz around the same time. Super hard to find. This only came with one accessory. It was like a steel beam that he held up over his head, but super posable. The fingers, you can move each individual finger. You can move, and the thumbs. this is one of the coolest designed action figures I've ever seen. It doesn't look anything like it did in the comics that I remember. I remember that Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man issue. I still look for that issue today. I think it's Web of Spider-Man 90. Really cool stuff. But if you ever come across this at like a garage sale or something, big money, I've seen it sell for as much as $250 loose.
Wow.
Yeah, that looks like a cheap price, honestly, for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one on $255 on eBay for still packaged.
Yep. In still packaged, I've seen them go for up to $500. So, all right, this is for all the non-sport trading card, Marvel card people. We talk about, some of these are starting to fall in price, but this surprised me. At a couple of months ago, these were selling for like less than $500. I think they had dropped back down. Now we're seeing $677 on an unopened box, which isn't bad. Again, remember we were saying almost like $1,000 on these, Nico.
Moving on up.
Yeah.
Moving on up.
All right.
I want one so bad, dude. Every time I go to cons now, I'm in trouble because I look at these stupid non-sports cards that I know nothing about, and I'm like, maybe I should spend a lot of money on that thing that I don't know if it's real, fake, or indefinite. You know what I mean? It's just horrible.
Well,
Carter just laughs at me. Like, you're fucking stupid. I'm gonna go over here to the comics.
That's why Nico likes me going, because I'll listen to a shit and go, well, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I won't stop him though.
God bless the dead. Kenny Baker passed away. And what a great persona, and always go down as Star Wars royalty. But the last couple of years, seeing him at cons was almost similar to the Stan Lee saga, where he was just so old that, people just putting his hand on the paper and signing stuff. But to me, I feel like this went for super cheap. I feel like this should have been much more. I know it's not graded. Only the auto is authenticated, but it's still a super cool card. I would much rather have this than a signed action figure. From the first 77 set, or I think it's the second series was the green. I know the first series is blue, I think.
Takes a lot less room to store.
Yes. And speaking of cards, we talk about Garbage Pail Kids a lot on this channel. Another one of those nostalgia things. Whenever somebody's talking about G.I. Joes, it's like an instant shot of vitamin B. I get excited, right? Same with Garbage Pail Kids. Like, it instantly takes me back to being a kid. And we were seeing unopened packs of Series 1 going for like, $300 in a PSA 9. Now, raw or ungraded, you're seeing these Series 1 packs go for $300 plus. And this is Series 1 and Series 2. Series 2 packs are starting to shoot up now. But this is both Series 1 and Series 2 for $405 on 27 bids.
Dude, is this the one you ate the gum from?
No, but it is yes, it is. Fourth series is the one I ate the gum from. And
Was it really? I thought it was a baseball card pack.
No, it was fourth series Garbage Pail Kids.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You would remember.
Brian will never forget. He got trauma from it for the rest of his life.
Yeah. I saved like 30 pieces of the gum from the 88 Topps football cello pack break we did. And it's waiting for me to hand to Nick Hart and do a video of him eating them.
I think I'm gonna because I have all those unopened packs of the minis.
Yep.
So the UK minis that came out a little after, man, I bought them like 20 years ago off eBay, and finally found them, I don't know, a year ago or whatever. And I think I need to grade some of them. Maybe not the packs, but like just to open some of those cards. Like, there's no way I can lose money on some of those things, and I think I could probably do better than if I just sold the packs, even though those are picking up in price also. So yeah. All right, let me get this moving here. All right, so one of the things that I've been talking about in the show lately is this card.
Wow.
I really love this card. 1931 Walt Disney that has Mickey Mouse with him on the card from Will's Cinema Stars. tobacco card style. This was like a $700 card in this grade. I believe the last time we looked at it, one sold for $1,400 in a PSA 7. Just such a cool piece of history right here. If it was just Walt Disney, it'd be one thing, but because he has Mickey there with him from 1931, it just makes it so much more cooler. And Disney fans are just rabid. Like it's a cult of happiness over there. So speaking of Disney,
Mickey Mouse in comics is actually way undervalued.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I forget what I can picture the cover. I'm not gonna be able to tell you the name, but the first Mickey in comics is like you can get a low grade for under $2,000. And that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know.
I know a guy chasing the Disney stuff because he's like, it's the only thing I can afford right now that makes any sense to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. I got another Disney thing coming up, but I want to hit on a couple more Garbage Pail Kids things. Now, Garbage Pail Kids started releasing the Sapphire reprint boxes, which are absolutely amazing. Shout out to Simple Man's Comics, Brian Wood, Flipside family member over here. He's sitting on an unopened Sapphire box, and I'm doing everything I can to just get him to send me. But the top Sapphire cards are probably the most beautiful printed trading cards there are. The Garbage Pail Kids Sapphire set are all blue, and there are variants in there, whether it's orange, I think numbered to like 5 maybe, and gold or 20 or something like that, and then there's gold.
Wow.
This is my top 5, maybe top 3 favorite all-time Garbage Pail Kids card. The art on Dead Ted is just amazing, absolutely amazing. I wish I owned a high-grade Dead Ted, and it'll be something that I'll be looking for moving forward. Some of these Sapphire cards too. $565 on 9 bids, not even graded. Crazy.
Yeah, I'm checking eBay right now.
Yeah.
One Blasted Billy, $50,000. one out of 5 Blasted Billy non-grade. That's PSA though, and it's one of a kind. But like the Blasted Billy 1 out of 5 is up for $10,000.
Yeah,
nice stuff.
Well, here's the next one, right? Evil Eddie, Nasty Nick. This is the Sapphire Gold, limited to 15, sold for $910. 11 bids, not graded. Another cool Disney card. This is 1957 Barrett and Company limited Walt Disney characters, number 8, the Donald Duck character, PSA 9, sold for $153. I feel like this is a steal, even at Probstein, which everything is like a 20% higher than normal market being sold by them. What a great piece of Disney memorabilia, history, whatever.
Amen.
Yeah. Just super cool. Yeah, super cool card. All right, I got a couple more here that these are very interesting. I talk about G.I. Joe all the time and getting lots. This guy had a lot for sale. Let me show you what he had available. So you can see these are a lot of the original figures. You can see the rubber bands break on these. So if you guys ever see figures where the rubber band is broken, it's not a huge deal. It's going to happen on almost every figure. They're very easy to fix. I don't think it's a big deal in the collector community either to have fixed rubber bands on them, just because they're old. But you got a lot of great figures in this that sold. I'm just going to run through them real quick. You can see all the greats are here. It's got accessories on a lot of them. Some of them don't have accessories, but I was blown away by how much this lot sold for.
Yeah, this is a great lot. I was looking at this one myself.
Really, not bad. I mean, just to get this, the collector showcase, the flag where you can put the figures in is super cool. And it came with these carrying cases. I own one of these carrying cases. It's not in as good a condition as this, but these were so cool growing up. You could put the accessories in the little accessories thing, and it had the file card place for all your file cards. And here are all the weapons. Have the weapons there.
Weapons in there too.
What's that?
There's like Star Wars weapons like interspersed too. It's pretty awesome.
And to see the jetpack there, which is cool. But $2,450 on 41 bids, you guys.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. There's like straight arms in there too, which is really nice. So like, yeah, it was a really good lot.
Well, that's one of the things that I tell a lot of people is that when you see these lots come up for sale and you know what you're looking at, and you see like Clutch said, straight arms in there, which were some of the first releases, they re-released them with the swivel arms. But if you know that type of stuff, you can really find some great deals in these lots, especially if you see carrying cases with figures inside. You never know what you're going to find. There's a lot of gold. A lot of gold in there. All right. So
can I ask you guys a question about the G.I. Joes? So I was at a toy show recently with a buddy who's a toy nut. When he talks, it sounds like you guys talking about straight arms and shit and rubber bands. I don't understand any of it. And I saw a I don't know if it was a Snake Eyes or a Storm Shadow or something that was carded, and he's like, don't look at it because of the rubber band issue. He's just like pulling me away. Is he out of his mind?
Well, maybe carded for the only reason why, if the rubber band breaks and the figure kind of looks like it's broken and it's like moved around, you know what I mean? Like where you can see them separated. Maybe that's an issue just because you want to see the figure together in a carded bubble. Carter, what do you think?
You know what? I rarely ever see a broken O-ring on a G.I. Joe, like a carded one. Hardly ever see it.
Okay.
And for me, it's tough to say. The price would have to be really right, because you can't ask for together price. You can't ask for the together price for a broken O-ring if it's sealed. You know what I mean? You just like I'd pay half if the. You know what? I don't even think I'd do that. That's tough. That is really tough.
The price of comics is so high that like these grail items in other collectible areas are starting to make more sense to me, even though they're not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at C-3PO penis cards and fucking Storm Shadow graded cards, and you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Well, again, be on the lookout for that Mickey Mouse Cobra figure in these lots. Wow. You'll find them. Speaking of what Nico's just said, let me see if I can find it here.
Hey, Brian.
C3, yeah.
That lot is cool, but I'd still rather have just like a handful of sealed figures.
Oh yeah. But some guys, it's weird with the action figure collectors. Some guys would rather have them loose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's your C-3PO card, Nico. Another one sold. This is a PSA 9, sold for $724, and it's the non-air version.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Still looks like a ding-a-ling to me.
So there's counterfeits apparently.
Yes, there are.
Which I didn't know either.
Not
Yep.
true.
Like what? I can give up.
Yeah. That's why getting graded is important. And you guys, after market report here, we're going to jump in. We're not going to jump straight into pickups because one of the things I wanted to talk about, we forgot. We're going to get into the CBCS stuff and the Titan stuff, and then we'll end with pickups. All right. So I'm going to knock through these last couple here. Leg talks about this card a lot. He talks about Project 70 cards a lot too. And this is the Atom Bomb Trout card, and it is the foil Ermsey Topps Project 70 card, sold for $672 on 14 bids.
That's probably a good buy, I think, because you can't, like, this was one of the, I mean, if you know me, you know what. This is one of the few ones that I would have given, like the Project 70, I just really enjoy them. And I'm never online fast enough to get any of the, well, I mean, you have a chance at getting one of these, but also the ones they number to like 99 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the Trout, this Trout, being an Angel fan, GBK fan, this Trout would be, something that I definitely would have paid whatever the extra for was. But I'm never one of the first, I don't know, people to log on in the first 6 seconds when they sell out.
They go so fast, right?
Yeah, they go so fast, right?
Well,
but to me, this is an amazing card. So like, I didn't see this auction, wasn't really looking for it, but yeah. So I think maybe this is this one that just got mailed that mailed out, or one of the ones the early buyers?
I think it's one of the early ones. It's 55 of 70.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
but
I don't think that's a bad buy at 672.
yeah. Well, speaking of the top 70, I want to segue into my favorite Tops Project 70 artist that I absolutely love, and that's the party set or the party cards. This Acuna is absolutely amazing. Probably one of the coolest cards that the 70 Project has done. And then, like, look at some of these cards: the Randy Johnson, the Raleigh Fingers, this Brian Hayes, a newer player, like the Tatis. To me, this is some of the coolest stuff that Topps is doing right now. The Polar Bear, Pete Alonso, but this Acuna is so beautiful.
Yeah, I got lucky enough to get foil ones from my order. And
wow.
I think I was like, oh my God, sick. I think the first week it was up for sale like at 1,700.
Wow.
I think they've come down since then, but I think they're still running pretty high. And then also Alex does a really cool thing too. He does like the companion cards that he does, and so it's like a story about what the card is and whatnot. And then he'll do remarked versions and signed versions. He sells them together. Really cool stuff.
Beautiful.
And, the companion cards are like the same thickness as the card. They look great.
Yeah. I mean, he knocked it out of the park, using a baseball term. He really knocked it out of the park on this one. Even the Trout one. Look how good that is. Just beautiful stuff. So if you guys are into the Project 70 stuff, that's some of the cool stuff that you definitely want to take a look at. Speaking of Garbage Pail Kids earlier, wacky packages. A lot of people grew up on wacky packages before Garbage Pail Kids, and they did these little mini 3D like toys. All right, and this one I can't believe these sold for this much. $340 for the Kami Red Sparkle cleanser one.
That's hilarious,
right? All right. That, I mean, just blows me away. This next one is one that I talked with Carter about before that I've never seen. Marvel Legends Luke Cage figure, the Build-A-Figure from the Mojo set.
Huh.
Silver action figure variant, AFA graded, $3,261 on 3 bids.
I've never seen, didn't even know that existed. Wow.
Carter's on the hunt.
Wow. Okay, it's on now.
Yeah. That one to me is just bonkers.
That's a cool toy though.
Yeah. This sold for $500. This is cool Miles card. The Metal Gems Red out of 99 from 2017 Flair Ultra. Beautiful.
It's only an 8.
But still, it's a tough card with those rubies. They call them rubies, I think.
And it's SPGC also.
Yeah. How about this one, you guys? For all you Robert Downey Jr. fans out there, $7,000 for his signed card.
Shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bonkers. This one is really cool. I've never seen before. 1974 Yamakatsu Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris card. Low grade.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, low grade, but still $105. I feel like that's a deal to me, right? And then finishing it out, this is something that I've talked about a little bit on here, but this guy right here is killing it. The guy that does these Readful Things stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Let me show you some of these Readful Things figures, and they sell for a grip, an absolute huge amount. You can find him on eBay. Look at the sales on some of these figures. Larry David, $2,100.
These are excellent.
Shawshank Redemption, $2,000 for the Rita Hayworth background. Remember how I love how they talk about Rita Hayworth in that movie, man.
So these all one of a kind?
I don't know if they're one of a kind or not. I'm thinking they might be, if not very low print run.
They're worth every frickin' penny.
Yeah. Tommy's mother and Goodfellas.
I love them, dude.
Yeah, the head, Ben Gardner's head from Jaws. Mike Tyson's Punch Out with Mac and Little Mac and Mike Tyson.
Those gotta be custom.
They're definitely custom. I don't know how many he's creating. This one I talked about.
I don't think he bought all those
Like,
individual licenses.
just one of just like one of a kind custom.
Yeah, I love the American Psycho one.
They are beautiful.
Yeah. So if you guys ever get a chance, check out Readful Things.
We gotta get this guy on, man.
I agree.
I just want to tell him thank you for doing this.
I agree.
And throw some money at him.
But oh wow, look at this! You guys remember the movie The Cell? This is one of the few movies that, as I was older, kind of creeped me out. Man, D'Onofrio was so good as this character. But anyways,
I can't believe this guy watched all the same shit on TV as us. So
I know, right?
Why we like it so much?
Yeah. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the market report. Thanks for hanging out for that, you guys. Let's really quick jump into the CBCS debacle that's going on right now with the autograph stuff. A couple people have asked to get Nico's point of view on what's going on with that.
Oh man, why you gotta be like that?
Because they're asking, my friend.
I was like, there's no way you guys will talk about this. They got the one guy on from Skybound. I was like, there's no way. I won't have to even freaking address the whole ordeal.
I demand it as the special guest of the night. I want to know what you think. Let's go.
There we go.
Well, fortunately, I can say
let's explain it.
Yeah, let's do that because I didn't even watch the video.
Okay, so basically what happened, you guys, is there is a guy in the United Kingdom. Let me go ahead and bring this up. Let me find it here. All right. He is in the United Kingdom, and he goes by, and he hit us up and said thank you for talking about on the show. He goes by Comic Dose, and he made a video where he talks about the verification of signatures on CBCS. And let me try and find the point where he shows him. So he decided he was going to figure out the signature. Is this I think, who did we say it was? Is this
Sarah Pacelli?
Yeah, Pacelli. Yep. And he sat there and trace the signature and figured out how to make it look, real, worked on it, and decided he was going to send in a book to CBCS and see if he could get it through. And sure enough, he sent it and it got through. I'm going to see here. I'm going to show you guys the book. There you go. And it's going around. This happened early last week or late last week, I think. Chad Caves, who's the one that really wanted to know about it, said he knowingly and willingly subbed a forged signature to CBCS, got it back verified, then talked about it on a video.
So they're going to be charges pressed against this fucking this.
Well, here's the thing:
this guy just sending out fake shit. He's clearly good at forgery. So you know what I mean? Like, dude, you're out forging shit and telling people.
Yeah,
I watched the video a few times, and I didn't think the signature looked actually like her signature very much. There are little bits about his. I don't know. It looks like an M, but it doesn't come around like her. I don't know. I was pretty shocked that it passed myself.
Well, the thoughts on whether this guy, should be considered a hero or should be talked about like, come on, man, quit being an asshole, is very interesting. I'm about midway because, like I said, for the longest time, I've always said that I think CGC should be verifying signatures that aren't witnessed. But now this is making me seriously think about that not being worth it anymore if this is going to happen. And I know, Shawn, we've had conversations about the sports card world and verification of signatures in the past, but this is, bringing that up in our world now. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens out of this. And a lot of people are asking about the letter of the law and what can happen, what can CBCS do. And thank God we've got multiple lawyers at this channel. And one of our favorite Flipside lawyers who will not give you advice on anything is Nico Esquire.
Yeah. No legal advice. All right. So, God damn it. I'd have prepared a nice canned sort of like prefatory comment so as not to violate the rules of professional responsibility. But since I didn't do that, you'll get my unbridled take. One, I've handled forgery cases before. I know what I pay for an expert in a forgery case, and it's a hell of a lot more than it would cost for me to get a card or a signature verified by Beckett or whomever. Period. Now, what happens? They do the same kind of analysis, whether it's the FBI or, these are deception detection experts, right? Like, they're all looking for those points of articulation. You can watch a YouTube video. That doesn't make you an expert in this. I mean, it takes a lot of school and a lot of time. And, the reality is, I don't know that it's economically feasible for CBCS or any of these places to really employ or spend the time to verify these signatures to an extent that they could actually make it. Does that make sense?
Foolproof.
I mean, not even foolproof, like markedly reliable. I mean, you think that like Bob, the fucking CBCS expert, is going to get qualified in federal court to be a fucking expert on handwriting? No.
Aren't they using some kind of like
computer software?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't even know how much it costs. I certainly don't know what this guy did. So when Brian told me the story, my first thought was like, why the fuck are we talking about this? Oh my God. I like to try to build confidence in a market that I love as opposed to like destroy the heart and soul of collectors. Sweet Jesus. But I get
stop getting your stuff signed and keep it blue label.
I get that inquiring minds want to know. And certainly the service that is provided by CBCS is better than look, it's got a certificate of authenticity. Like the guy at that comic shop that was talking to me about their certificate of authenticity. It was hard for me not to just like laugh out loud. Like, what? I mean, are you kidding me? But is it foolproof? Obviously not. And you know what the thing is? After there's that high bar in federal court that I'm like is economically unfeasible, you'd have to pay somebody like, thousands of dollars to like really do the analysis. You know what's going to happen? The other person's lawyer is going to hire their own expert who's going to disagree. Right? Like, I know that too. So that's why, companies like CGC and CBCS are like, this one was actually witnessed. And it's why I think people like CGC, we'll get into that in a second. CGC are like, they have to be witnessed by our guys who, are on site. So at least from what Brian told me, this dude lives in another country.
Yeah, UK.
Good luck getting service of process on him and collecting a judgment against an individual in another country. Like, people talk about this like, I'm going to sue this person. And I always tell them, like, for what? Like, remember that scene in Rocky when Rocky punches the Don King figure? It's like, hit me and I'll sue. And Rocky breaks his jaw. Sue me for what? Like, what's this guy got? What are you going to sue him for? His book? You know what I mean? You're going to put a lien against his home in another country based on some sort of international, come on. It's not going to happen. So there's slap suits that people file that are frivolous that, are to kind of like push someone down, and that's illegal to do. But a lot of these cases are unworkable. Now, my question was, if he was in the United States, would this be criminal? And I didn't spend the time to look at it because, frankly, I didn't think we were going to talk about it. But, like, there are things that are absolutely illegal under state law or federal law that are not prosecuted. Okay. So, for example, in the United States, it is a federal crime to fail to report a felony. If you know that a felony has been committed, you're guilty of a federal crime for not reporting it. It's called misprision of a felony. No one's ever prosecuted for that. Okay. But people plead guilty to it as part of plea bargains. And, like fraudulent schemes, regardless of whether or not there's, like an actual fraudulent sale.
Yeah. Well, I like what Red Picks was it who said it? Jim Cameron said is could you consider this white hat hacking? And basically what that means you guys is like there's hackers out there that do things to screw with people, and then there's other hackers out there that do things to show that a company or has security flaws, you know, and they're trying to help out. So is this guy just saying, hey, you got a problem with your system and I just proved it? Or is it something that he was like, let's just see if I can do this and you know, that type of thing?
Here's the deal, man. None of this shit's new. Like people have been trying to figure out and authenticate things for a very long time. Like if we wanted to like write something on like the 4th page of a brand new modern book that came out last week in like invisible ink, would they catch it and still give you a blue label? No. Right? Yes, you'll get the blue label. They won't catch you. Things like that. Like if you want to buck these systems and stuff, professional authentication stuff. How many different signatures? You know, I laugh about. You get the T. McFarlane or the Todd McFarlane. You know, or things that had just changed over the years, like the things that turned into this giant bout of ridiculousness, like a J. Scott Campbell autograph. And there's going to be examples of this in every corner of the world. It doesn't mean they're not doing their due diligence. It means one got by. You know what I mean? How many times have we seen? That's why I always say get Todd McFarlane, get his sig early in the show, because it's going to be slow and it's going to be prettier than after he signs his 1,000th autograph, right? Because he gives a hell of an autograph. Like it's not a little scribble. You know, this guy chose a scribble. We really want to do this. A good friend of mine, Steve Sipe, owns Global Authentication, and I've talked to Brian about doing even a series. He worked for Upper Deck from the late '80s. Was Michael Jordan's personal autograph liaison that traveled with him. And hey, do you want to get into any of this stuff? That guy will let you know, and he will. You think this is a big deal? Some of the stories that guy tells me as a friend, there's some real freaking big deal. A lot of Stan Lee stuff got passed with back in the day with his stickers, and were sold as that, not through CGC or CBCS. Well, CBCS didn't exist then, but not through CGC, but with the little hologram Stan Lee steal. They faked the hologram, which apparently wasn't that hard, and like, you know, somebody on eBay is not going to know the difference between a duplicated hologram and a non-duplicated hologram. They weren't trying to do the wrong thing, but people were scamming people.
What did we talk to Matt Nelson about? Shawn, that's one of your buddies. I forget the name of the company that where they've got the computer QR code, and you hit it, and it actually shows you the video of that particular item being signed. That is shame on me. It's too late. My brain isn't working that well. Remember, there was Cover Price, Key Collector, and then there was what's his name? Super nice guy.
It was Collateral, but he rebranded.
Yeah,
Scott Robertson.
Scott Robertson's the guy, but I guess you can just go with
Comic Book Collateral. Yeah.
Right, but what's the name? Right, but what's
Collateral.
the name of his verification company?
I don't remember.
Okay, so Scott Robertson. The point is, it has knocked that bit out, which is exceptional. And shame on me for not remembering the name of the company, but I mean, that's a cool tech fix that I think really has a future. Right. But again, it has like a specific witness, you know, a guy who I assume, because I think a lot of this stuff is going to come down to a notary seal, right? That it was witnessed in person. You know, hi, I'm, you know, insured. I've got a state license, boom, as opposed to a certificate of authenticity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. Like, there's just a lot, and this is a small example, and comic books are something that get signed a lot, and probably people wait in line and sign these things. You know, it just not everything is going to look exactly the same. This dude literally sat there and practiced your auto, dude, on and not only that, it's like a Sharpie. I mean, comics are all on different pieces of paper. I'm not saying you can't authenticate. You can clearly authenticate things, man. I guarantee you, if they have, especially with Beckett behind him, I bet that, you know, they've worked hard to do that. But a lot of this stuff, I mean, it's expensive. Like I said, knowing a guy that owns one of the premier authenticators, like in the sports world, he's never been hired to do. I mean, I don't think he's ever done any comics. He hasn't done it for CBCS or whatever, but he could still do it for you. It takes a what? It costs money. That guy charges real. This guy wanted to authenticate his whole baseball signed baseball collection. The guy's like, well, yeah, no, I got him myself. It's fine. He's like, doesn't matter how long it takes, but it's a lot more expensive than what CBCS charges to have premier people do that. And how many people have been doing this and for how long? You know what I mean? Like, you can teach somebody to grade a book or to press a book, but to autograph authentication is should be a lot more difficult than that, and involving technology, microscopes, signature stuff, and a lot goes into it. So,
well, he at least he did reach out to me, and
this guy,
much respect to the guy. He said, because we talked about it on Saturday Night Modern Comic Mayhem when we talked about it, because it just had popped up, and we went pretty in depth on what those guys thought about it and everything, and he saw that, and he shout out to Sean McCurdy, who I think said, hey, go check it out, they're mentioning you over here. And he hit me up. He said, hi guys, thanks for discussing my video. I'm happy that it opens up debates like this. I'd happily answer all the questions you want, as I want to be fully transparent on the reasons I did it. Thank you for being kind and courteous. Cheers, keep up the good work. So I asked him, I said, hey, I'd love to have you on the show, but he is in the UK and it's a weird time for him. So it's hard for him to do shows, but depending on how things go, maybe we'll do like a sidebar with him at a weird time that works for him, and get his take on this stuff, because it is very, very interesting.
Yeah, can we please, as a channel, provide this message? For the love of fucking Christ, don't do this.
Yeah, don't do this, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fuck? And he picked initials. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can try, and they can look pretty much the same. And if they're both right-handed, you can get something by in something like this. So yeah, you can successfully do things like this, right? If you gave me a whirl of people that were just signing initials, like let's put, for instance, just because all the autographs are simple. Raiders fan, so Derek Carr signs DC on everything. That, like, I've never seen him write out Derek Carr before. So if you look eBay, Derek Carr autograph football card, right? They're gonna it's almost all in the panini. It's all like the stupid sticker they put on there, except for some of them. But like they'll say, it says DC on everything, and that's all he does. Now if I had dude, okay, that's even a better example. Derek Carr kind of intertwines it, looks a little harder. Dude, is a right-handed person. I guarantee you I could get enough pictures of his signatures off that I personally have, or that I get off eBay, and try. If someone with decent enough penmanship, or like decent enough a copying or something like that, can try about 1 million times until they can't just go exclamation point for like 5 hours in a day, wake up the next day, sign a couple books, and try to send them. Could it happen? Yeah. For something like that, not something deep or whatever, but I don't know.
And if someone at the U.S. Attorney's Office gets a bug in their ass and doesn't like you devaluing their collectibles, it's going to be IF, identity fraud, and you're going to be charged with a fucking federal crime. So, like, don't do this. Dear God. I don't know what the forms look like that you have to fill out to do this either, but, like, I promise there'll be a kiss of death on that one too. And I bet CBCS, if the forms aren't fatal to causing you to commit a crime by doing this, they'll change the forms. Believe that in your heart.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like,
I mean, yeah, that's a good point.
Shout out to Stein, the missing Beetle, miss jamming with the best. Great discussion. Thank you, brother. Crazy stuff. All right, we are long in the tooth. We'll save Titans for next week. Let's rock some pickups, and John Z can start it off. Because
I stayed up extra late to give Leg some props on some books here.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait to see them.
I haven't stayed up for pickups in probably 3 months, maybe more.
It's been a minute, dude.
But
it's been a minute. I picked up that Journey into Mystery 83. I was so excited to show you, and I saved it, and I didn't even tell you, and then you signed off right for pickups. I'm all, what the fuck?
It's
so
late
I immediately
texted
you and got you up out of bed, but okay. Yeah.
I was sleepy. I do want to share one thing in the background there. I got a piece of art from a boy in a trade. He's on IG, Live a Book Collecting. He had it framed and everything, and I just loved the piece. He had upgraded, so I picked it up. but it is a page with Black Adam featured on 3 of the 4 images. He framed it up with the actual page itself and the cover, which is a pretty badass Ross Shazam cover. So couldn't pass it up. I haven't figured out where the heck I'm hanging it, but I just love the damn thing. So very happy to have that. But to get with the pressed books and a CGC call, first one, which looks so much nicer than it graded. It is kind of depressing. Yeah. It is the Norwegian Tech 359. It looks like a 9 something, but there's one tiny little pinhole here that doesn't even actually go all the way through, but it hit pretty hard. There was a little bit of staining on the back, but it's still probably going to be one of the nicest copies. It's a rare book in any grade, so to have a monster, I will take. This one is also, mind you, still Census very small on these, but Census topper.
Good.
Brazilian 8.0. First, there's 3 printings of this book in Brazil. This is the original one by eBall. It has the brightest colors I've ever seen in one of them. Got off-white to white pages, which is impressive. We were talking about how much the humidity and stuff ruins these guys. This could probably be a Census topper for a while. Just
it's gorgeous.
Tough to find the damn things.
And it's funny when you send me stuff like that, I'm just all there's like a pinhole and there's like this or that, and you're like, oh no, it'll still be the nicest one in existence. And I'm like, okay, I don't feel too bad. Right, you know what I mean? I never think of. I'm like, shit, dude.
These would be nice if you hadn't pressed Robert's 9 freaking 4, but 2 of these big booty Gwen,
big booty Gwens,
a 4 and a 5.5. I've also got a CBCS 4.5. So I tell Robert, when you add them all together, I win. But
that's comic book. That's comic book resentment right there on
only
Carter. That's what I can tell.
Yeah, that was like a little bit of a disappointment.
I literally thought that was at least 3 grades better than the other one.
Yeah,
I didn't write down my thoughts, but one was so much significantly nicer that you know what I mean. That only a 1.5 difference. I didn't think so.
I don't know if maybe it's sitting in the warehouse longer than normal. There's a few bends that maybe came back. So we may send that one back again at some point in the future because it's much brighter. Like when you look at the cover, it looks white.
Yeah, I didn't bend any of it.
No, they're not bent. They're just looks like things maybe started to come back. It'd been sitting a long time there.
I bend it back.
I know. I don't know. Who knows? Things happen in transit at CGC at wherever. So, wedding issue. I like to say this is the first one on the census. There is one in the CBCS census, but this was the first one on the CGC. The issue 128, the famous dream sequence. This one has a signature, which
freaking love it.
I still haven't got confirmation from Duran himself, but I have the story from the guy that bought it from his son, who's saying this was the personal copy that he gave to his son. So,
God, that's beautiful.
Surprised I got away with the blue label on it. Pretty happy with that. I mean, I probably could have went like a 5.0 green, but that wasn't worth it. So we'll just leave the signature there.
It was nice to get the blue on there, yeah.
And somebody said that CBCS doesn't even verify Duran's because nobody has enough record of it. So,
yeah.
And then this one is the one to write home about, and Rob will be jealous of, a 9-2.
That thing's so gorgeous.
Yeah,
that thing is gorgeous.
I think when we first started doing video is when I bought this book. I mean, it was a long time ago. I was on the other side of the room, I remember, and people were like, "You paid $2,000 for that damn thing? What are you doing?" And
still my heart.
Oh, I didn't know you paid that much for it. Jeez. All right.
Oh, but it's probably worth 5 figures.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
Because there aren't. The other one that came from, there's kind of 2 Mexican pedigrees. This one is unconfirmed out of one because there's no stamp, but the one out of the other one is a 8.5 on the other census. And I talked to several of the kind of the high-end Mexican dealers, and there just aren't high-grade copies of that book. So It'll probably live there a while.
I mean, not that it would have gotten treated any differently, but I guess it's good to. Maybe better that I didn't know that you paid $2,000 and it might be the best copy in the world. I wouldn't treat it any better or worse. I'll tell you that. But like, I'm all holy. I didn't know till now. So
you didn't need to sweat about it then if you didn't know.
Sweat. I didn't. One time I had like the nicest copy of Hulk 181 in my hands. Right, nicest copy ever, Hulk 181 I've ever held in my hand. Right as I'm about to like do some like intricate shit to this thing, my wife comes in with the story like right here, and I'm like, look, just I'll be out in a minute. Right, I'm gonna like I'm
focusing. I'm trying not to.
Give me a second. Like this is like that was like a year ago. It was $10,000, probably like $20,000 copy now. And so give me a second, okay?
Just give me a second. Don't want to know.
Yeah.
But thank you, sir. You did excellent work.
Yeah, man.
John, now didn't that get banged up?
Glad to see those.
Actually, yeah, you're right. The first
Tell these
time,
guys. Tell them about
it. That's its second trip to you.
Because I've been trying to coerce one out of your hands since
I totally forgot. I shipped it with some other stuff, and there was
So that shipment that got beat, that was in there too?
Yeah, the first time around. And it was like one that they dropped the box enough to knock them all on the corner of the book, and it kind of bent the corners because they hit the edge so hard, but it didn't mess up the box any. So I couldn't really do anything, and insurance was going to be a pain in the ass because they weren't going to have any value on these damn books. So I just kind of sat on it and sent it back. So.
Oh man, I didn't realize it. Well, that was a long time.
That's been sitting here for another year.
That was COVID.
That
was in a BCW Starfolio.
It was. I mean, it wasn't. It was just they threw the damn thing around. Yeah. Honestly, though, I don't think it color broke or anything. It just, it's older book. It just gave it a little bend, and I had to send it back.
Not bad. Who's next? Clutch, you got any pickups?
I actually picked up it was like a GI Joe from the Joe Con. It was like a Night Force, like the Sky Striker limited edition over the weekend.
Not bad. I talk about those Night Force figures, even the Con ones, like the Shockwave Night Force figures, like top 5 favorite GI Joes of all time.
Got one. It's right up here somewhere.
Oh, but Clutch, we're gonna have this is gonna be a lot of fun now that I know you're into GI Joes and all this fun stuff, man. Oh, yeah. You're gonna hate life. I'm gonna be texting you like, check this out, check this out, check this
all
out.
day. Bring it over. Bring it.
All right, who wants to go up next?
I'm fast. Go for it.
Okay. So I went to a con this weekend on Saturday, and bought like traditional stuff, right? Like a couple of these, and like other nonsense books. Like these were dollar bin books I did good with, $1.50. I think these are like $10 books. I like the Witchblade because it's a newsstand.
Oh yeah.
Finsky, paid a little bit more for this one, $25. $10 for that, but none of that's really that stinking cool. What was cool is that after I got where the hell is it? These two guys, which are like actually legit books.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
But so anyway, Sunday, TJ and I are out looking at books, right? And I call Carter and I'm like, dude, did you go to this store? And he's like, just been there. I'm like, but we're already committed, right? Like we're like on our way. We're like a half an hour out of the way. And my pulls were like lackluster at best. I don't know exactly where they were. And this was on the wall. And I was like, hey, that's cool. How much for that? And he's like, $50. I'm like, I'll take it. That's cool. Thanks. Hey, tell me about that. Where are the other books? And he's like, there weren't any, keys or anything, but they're in a box in the back, right? I'm like, that's nice. How much is that box? He's like, $3. $3 for the raw books. I'm like, that's cool. So I go back, right? So that's like about $100. That's about $100. I gave away a lot of this to the guy I went with. These are like $50 each. I like old Tip Top peanuts, right?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But like the
$3 a pop.
The number one for $3 was really the killer.
Oh my god, dude!
Hold on, that's about $100.
Oh yeah,
that's a couple $100. That's a couple $100. This one's
that's $200-300 in nice shape.
Yeah,
decent shape, not nice shape, decent shape.
$3 a piece.
God damn.
So even after Carter is someplace, there's still hope.
I don't know what those are. I guess I'll just have to put those on my list.
Do you know what happened?
Yeah,
that's why I went through them so fast, so you didn't write them down.
It was in a trap that you needed little hands.
Wait a second. The guy I was there with was like, he goes, don't tell anyone about these books, because he didn't know what the hell they were either. He's like, if you tell people about those things, they won't be there the next time you go. I'm like,
nobody knows.
Won't be fun then. Yeah, won't be fun then.
It was one of those things that half-price books that Carter couldn't fit his hands between to thumb through. That's why he didn't see him.
Man's got big hands. You know what I mean? He got real big hands.
Yeah, not much. MFKZ, Wanted Comics, John Gallagher.
Nice.
Here's the set.
I freaking love that book, dude.
I love it too. They had the GPK variant and a Ghost Rider looking variant for the number one, which still hasn't come in the mail, but Wanted Comics said it would take care of me. Not much. Shout out to Drunken Chat, Mighty Melv. Won these off his Whatnot and got it here. And if any of you guys think we just bid on our friends' auctions, we actually pay for them and they ship them. Don't worry. So that's good shit. And then books that I bought.
Shawn just wanted a video drink with somebody.
I was at a restaurant while I was doing it with my friends on Friday night. I'm not kidding. I was sitting there bidding. They're like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "It's what I do."
That's why Whatnot's so great.
Oh, Whatnot's so great. You just go in there and you just sit in there. But like I said, then you have friends online and it's on the weekend. You sit in there, and plus, if you have Saturday night auctions, I probably had a cocktail and then I bid and everything's fun.
And you see what shows up.
I'm trying to remember. I think Slab Heroes. Forgot I bought these. I forgot it got these. It was second print. Just thought it was great. I think it was like they had some mega sale a while ago. So they had like 2 for $80 or something like that. It's like I don't know how many months ago. Basically, completely forgot, and here they are. So that's a nice surprise for a good deal. But these are great covers. I'm definitely gonna keep one. But these are probably one's gonna hit Whatnot. I don't know, in a couple days. So anyway, that's what I'm working with. But these were they did a good job. Awesome work by Gleason, just like they do on anything. Back to the drawing board. So we saw how many of these came out right away. But I love the red, so that's more at bottom. I love the red. The black and white's cool as shit too. But yeah, the blue is also cool, but I like red better.
Has the red showed up in the Walmart packs at all? I know that the
red wasn't. That was a not incentive. It was already.
It's just a second print.
Okay,
yeah.
That's why they're cheap. It was just a second print. So it's cover price.
Yeah, the ratio, Brian, has appeared of the second print has appeared in the Walmart pack stuff.
There was a ratio.
And the exclusive. There's also an exclusive, a retailer exclusive that showed up there too, right?
Yeah, there's a 1 in 50. It's white. It's in some of the Walmart packs apparently, allegedly. I don't know.
Nice.
Not mine,
it, Shawn?
But...
What'd you say?
Is that it?
Oh yeah, that's it. That's
wow, nice. Not really quick. All right, Carter.
I'm selling this week, not buying. So last week, whatever.
All right. Well. This is fun.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
My homies. Look at
that is awesome. I need to get one of those now.
Found that for $1. I think this might be like a $40 to $50 book. So, but this was in the dollar bin. Didn't even know this.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I stopped. It's only because of you. I actually stopped. I saw the homies up top. I'm like, I know it's got to be something.
Was that at the dollar bin, same shop I was at?
Yeah. So that was in there. We got some more Golden Age. I love this book. This is one of my favorites. Yeah. Mr. District Attorney number 31. pre-code. I guess you can call this a skeleton cover. So we got this for what, $42.
That's in beautiful shape, man.
Yeah,
Good.
this
Cool
thing,
shit, dude. I've never seen that book.
jet black golden
looks
age.
nice.
Look at that! Holy cow!
Yeah, I mean, what'd you get? A time machine?
Something like that. We got some more golden age. Cowgirl.
Oh,
I love it.
Cowgirl
Good
Romance.
job, dude.
Yeah.
Where'd you
Cowgirl
find that
Romance.
one?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Good for you,
so
dude.
that-
Congratulations.
yeah,
I love
this
that
was-
book.
This was $60. I think the only thing wrong with it really. is
I
Yeah,
almost-
that one corner.
I almost bid on one of those on eBay.
And I said, dude, the rattiest copies sold for up
Hundreds,
to like
hundreds.
200, like $200. But there is a 5.0 copy for I think $600. So I'm happy with this. I'm happy with my $60 copy. Right
Well
here.
done, sir.
This thing is mad solid. We got another Golden Ager, the Fighting Texan number 17. The colors on this are gorgeous. I love the subject matter. You got the chick, the damsel in distress, the guy getting killed.
Yeah.
This was only
Very
$10, and I believe this book
There's
goes
some
for
Baker fighting Texans, aren't there? Z?
I gotta do some research.
I won't commit to that.
I'm definitely gonna do some research on
It's like
on this title.
if you do Baker, Texas, there's some Baker Texan something or another. I can't remember what it's from though.
All right. Oh. I found a copy. Found another
Nice,
copy.
dude. That's a tough book.
I love this
You
book.
taught me about that book. Yeah.
This book. I still don't think this book goes for a
What
hell
it
of a
should.
lot.
Nah, it's like $40.
Yeah.
What number is that?
642. I believe this is a 1 in 20 variant.
Yeah, and I think there's one copy on eBay, and it's like in the UK for like $40. Because I always like look at it, and I'm like,
Yeah, because my thing is like if you're priced out of the annual number 1, like to me, this is
it's all you got left. Yeah.
yeah, this is the next best thing. It's a beautiful variant, and it's got like it's a John Romita cover, and it's got all of the Sinister Six on it.
Yeah,
And
that's smart.
we gotta look at this one. Look at this gorgeous cover.
Oh, wow.
Look at this cover. So this is Ghostbusters number 16. This is I believe this is a sub cover, and it has the and this is just modeled after the cartoon series. And when I saw this cover, I just immediately fell in love with it. So this was like I think $3. And here's the best thing that I probably bought.
Well, hello.
So Young Avengers number 1, I got this for $40.
Wow.
I know where you got that.
and you know what? We'll throw this in too.
Bang, bang.
Got this was $50.
What?
Wow.
Same spot?
Yeah.
Oh, God. They really don't know what the fuck they're doing. God bless them.
It is what it is. It is.
Yeah.
What it is.
I love it, though. Well done, sir.
What are those director's cuts at? Like I know,
Like 150 bucks.
raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 150.
but they charge more for it. You gotta love fucking content.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
No certificate of authenticity.
None.
All right, so we're gonna go through this quick. I only got a couple things. I've been going through my old storage unit and all my packed away goodies for start burning out for whatnot, and I found this 1989 Fleer baseball complete set. It had the wrapping around it before I opened it. And I said, screw it. I want to see if there's a minty fresh Billy Ripken card in there. So I just got done going through it all around here. Unfortunately, it is the black box version. I don't know which one of these is worth more. I will always rather have the original version. But these things are so nice and minty, man. They've never been touched. So I pulled out the Randy Johnson rookie and, of course, the babyface Griffey rookie. And not nothing too crazy. 89 Flair is always going to be close to my heart because of that Ripken card. But here's probably one of the coolest pickups that you'll ever see me show. Shout out to Jesse James Comics, who found these in the bottom of a box and said, "Here, I know you're into sports card stuff. Take them." I said, "Take them?"
Wow.
He says, "Yeah, they're yours, free." These are 1920s
Oh, dude.
boxing cards.
It's dope.
They're postcards, or
Love it.
they were like giveaways or something. They're exhibit cards from the 20s. This is Billy Wallace. It has a stats on the back. I've never heard of Billy Wallace, but he's probably a great boxer. He gave me this. I'll save that one for last. Hold on.
He looks like he's got the gloves on that we were wearing in the beginning of COVID.
This is
What?
Lewis Kid Kaplan.
That's so cool.
Here's a famous name, Max Baer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And the coolest one of the set, absolutely amazing, Sugar Ray Robinson.
Whoa.
Wow.
Wow.
Ah!
Absolutely
Wow.
amazing.
Have you
And
tried
it
to
is.
look those up?
No. Not even yet.
Can you find something to put him in? You make me nervous. Jesus Christ. The fuck?
So speaking, we'll end the show on this one. Now, we're not going to give these away tonight. We are going to give these away. Jesse James Comics. This is really cool, you guys. Another bottom of a box find. He said, "Here, give this away on your show. I think we'll figure out a really cool way over the next week on how to give this away." 1966 Batman photo cards. The whole set.
Dope.
The whole set.
Damn.
Absolutely amazing. Here's number 1,
I love it.
number 2, number 3. Hold on, I'll end when I get to the cool one. There's the first Batman, Adam West one. And these are
Awesome.
black bordered, right? Look at how cool. Here's the Adam West one.
Freaking amazing.
But the coolest one is the Joker one.
Caesar.
Let me show you guys this. Yep, Caesar Romero. Here's Burgess Meredith, right? As the Penguin.
It's dope. Gosh.
Yeah, right.
That's
This is my.
Galopulus.
Yeah, there's one of my favorites when they had the holy shark repellent Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Where the hell did I put the Joker? Hold on. Take me 2 seconds. 1, 2. Probably be the last. Here it is. the last
Z's
card I
got
look at.
photo covers of the 50s Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
There's
beautiful.
the Caesar Romero Joker. So
Wow.
Nice.
absolutely amazing, beautiful cards. These will be given away by next Monday's show. So we'll figure out how to give these away. But this is for our 5,000 sub breakthrough that we had recently, and really cool giveaway. And much love to Jesse James Comics. We'll give him a chance to promote.
I want to
those
enter.
people.
Wait, can I? One?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, very cool stuff. And listen, 175 till the end. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We
I made
put
the
everybody
end.
through it tonight. Yeah, 3-hour long show. Wasn't expecting that. I know Big Clutch is over there hating life because we didn't tell him, hey, you can leave anytime, man. Just say peace and you're out.
Are you kidding me?
You're a good man.
Well,
Oh
you
my
just ruined
God.
yourself. Now you got to come back. So
You're a good
The best
man.
part is I learned so much tonight from like listening to you guys and seeing books that I've never seen and whatnot. So I'm gonna. I mean, if you see me at a shop, I will knock you the f over. But
well, you guys, again, thank you to Big Clutch. Shawn, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Make sure you guys go follow him on IG. Check out for the Whatnot stuff, the Skybound stuff. Really doing amazing stuff. And we can't wait to have you back. And just thank you for being a part of this community. We appreciate the hell out of you.
yeah, thank you guys so much. We're doing Whatnot Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific. We'll be doing a stream. Got some cool DC stuff, some Marvel stuff in there too. So mixing it up.
Nice.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us. Make sure to hit that sub button. We drop content every day, multiple things, amazing people, collectors, making content for collectors. So appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Adios.